If you work out your legs, you have like a stronger erection, like during sex.
Is that true?
You didn't know this?
No.
Yeah, no. When I was like volunteering, like when I was these 45-year-old guys, he said, "Yeah, if you want to keep your erection, you gotta do leg day. Don't miss leg day."
Whoa.
But it makes sense too because all
the
that
blood
blood is
flow.
flowing. Exactly. So yeah.
Wow.
You got that. Then you got the testosterone flowing through your body. So it all starts with the legs. That's where it all comes from.
Wow. I was talking to Anthony Bonazzo. You know him? Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's a physical trainer as well, and he was telling me that like even like issues that come with like your spine or your back and your posture, it all comes from the legs. It all comes from the way you're standing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Calves are really big.
But I think a lot of people don't think about their legs. Like they don't even consider that. They'll have back problems. They never connect it to their legs or the way they stand and all these things because it really is the start of a lot of it. It's the root of your fucking body.
Well, men are top heavy, so like we think about this little V thing we have going on.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas women, they're bottom heavy. Women focus on their legs. They'll do like the Kegel thing, the good girl, bad girl thing going on.
So us guys, we need to get big asses. That's basically what it is.
Well, that's why like black men, typically have like they're thicker.
Yeah.
So,
and I know like, we could all get BBLs. We could just go that route, but that's not right because I don't think that has the physical benefits. I think if you just get a BBL, it's not if you earn it. If you earn the proper, I'm trying to put it nicely, but I'm saying is a fat ass.
Yes.
If you earn your fat ass, then it's worth it. It probably feels better.
Yeah.
And if you just get the BBL, it probably doesn't feel the same. That'd be my guess. It might feel the same. It might be exactly the same. I don't know.
Now, I'm very happy you brought up race. So
I think you Brazilian butt.
Sorry, nationality.
I guess
my bad.
technically I did bring the Brazilians into this. Yeah. I just think of BBL as a thing because it is kind of funny how it is tacked onto them, like the butt lift. I mean, it's not even really their.
I don't even know.
I think they just did it the best.
It's probably just one Brazilian who did it, and they're like, that's him. That's it.
Just like ass of the month or something, like an award.
Well, but what is your ethnicity? It's got a curiosity.
Oh, dude. Oh, fuck. I want to say it's Irish and something else. I'm probably getting it wrong. I knew that Polish and something else. I want to say actually Polish and something else. Polish and I can't remember. It's been so long because my mom looked it up when I was like a kid and I learned it from her. So if I ask her, she'll tell me. I'll get back to you on this. This is a running thing. Okay. But I want to say definitely Polish. And then something else. Because my grandma's maiden name, I don't know if I should say this on a podcast.
Yeah.
But it's Kablinski. So my grandma's maiden name is Kablinski.
We'll bleep it out. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post, all right?
Kind of kills the... They're going to be like, what the fuck? Why it's mysterious that way. What could my grandma's maiden name possibly be? Kablinski, yeah. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah.
It actually sounds cool. But what ethnicity is that? I can't remember. Because that's not...
Ski is very Eastern European, so I would guess some type of Polish. Like I got some friend like Nakowski, Rowski, very, very Polish ending for some
Mike
reason.
Wazowski.
Yeah, Mike Wazowski. He's Polish. No one knows that, but he is.
That's just the first name that comes to mind. Owski. But Kablinski, and then my dad's side. The problem is my dad's dad. I forget his name because my dad's not his real dad. Like the one that's his last name.
Your dad's not his real dad.
Yeah, like when his dad had him, I think he got arrested or he went to jail. I can't remember. And so this other guy kind of comes in and raises him. Stepdad becomes the real dad, and then real dad becomes background dad. Yeah, and I can't remember his last name. I want to say Frazier. I think it's Frazier.
Okay.
So you got a Frazier, and then you got a Kablinski. So,
yeah, I don't know if Frazier.
Maybe German?
Sounds medieval for some reason.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea. What about you?
My name, Damon Howard. Well, I'm named after 2 Chicago train stations. So
yeah,
so just up there.
Very easy for people to remember.
Very easy. They say, "Oh, I get off on you." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, you've never heard that one before, I'm sure.
No, not at all. I do it in my act, but
to get off on you. I mean, it's I feel like I don't know, because I just don't know if that's like my rap brain, but that's one of the first things that would probably come to mind. Get off on you. Like I feel like because there's just certain things you'll hear people say all the time if you have certain names. It's just how it works.
Howard, bus station. Yeah, I'm getting getting off on
I mean,
Howard.
have you always lived in Chicago?
No, I'm not. Oh, that's not. I'm joking around. That's not even my origin of my name.
Oh, I was just gonna say like when you didn't live here, like obviously you never heard those jokes.
Yeah.
So once you move here, your name becomes what it is.
Yes.
Because that was not your name. Did not mean that.
You become a product of your environment.
Yeah, literally.
That's what creativity is taking something that's common everywhere in one place and just taking it to a different place.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm from the Navajo reservation in like Arizona.
Oh, wow.
I was born in Mesa, then I was on and off the res for about 10 years, just living throughout Arizona. My family would always go back during the summer. Then I lived in Colorado from 10 to 26. Then I moved to Chicago from then on, and now I'm here. Been here 3 years.
Okay.
Almost 4 years now, yeah.
What was growing up there like then?
And in Arizona, it was good. I mean, it's just like I'm a desert boy. Like I'm like a badger. I really like playing in the sand, just nuzzling my face in there, because there's like it's just quiet. Like I don't like I consider myself like a country bumpkin, because my grandma like owned like a farm, and we like be there every summer, and it'll just be so quiet. Like it's a type of quiet where like you don't even listen to, like, you don't really watch TV because our satellite couldn't even get it, so you just kind of like make do with what you have. You just walk around, you entertain each other, you do like weird shit with your body to see what you can do. And it was boredom, but it was boredom's very underrated. It was a very peaceful thing. Like,
wasn't this like the opposite, being somewhere like a city?
Yeah, I mean, when you came to the city, it was just like, oh, it's just loud. So I think that's something like I had to like get used to. We lived in Flagstaff, which is more. It was a town back in the day. It's not what it is now. There's like Chipotle's and like the A&W's burger joints just around there. But back then, it was just all these small little shops. And the biggest thing in town was the mall. So everyone just like came to the mall. That's how you interacted. You spend
R.I.P. to all my malls out there.
The mall is like dying right now because no one's really going out to like do shopping.
Yeah, and I don't know how you fix it. Because the thing is, you want malls back, but it's like the movie theater. What are you gonna do? Like, you'd have to actually have a whole movement to bring them all back. The mall from where I'm from has slowly falling apart. I'm actually amazed that it's still there. It's actually crazy that it's still standing. Because I worked there for a little while, and when I worked there, it wasn't so bad. I worked at the Coney at the mall, the Palace Coney.
Wait, are you from Chicago? Or?
No, I'm from Swartz Creek, Michigan. I moved to Flint, Michigan in 2020, so they're like right next to each other. So I would say like Flint because everybody knows Flint,
yes.
But in everybody's mind goes to water.
Sorry, I don't want to brag. I don't want to.
Yeah, show off.
Yeah.
Go ahead and show off for me.
I don't mean to flex on you real quick, but
is
that good?
Hurting my feelings. You know what? Look, you know what I used to do when I lived in Flint is I would go to my mom's house and I'd have like water bottles. Actually, I'd have like the big ass jugs.
Yeah.
And because my mom's water was good, and I would use her filtered water, and I would just fill up the jugs and drive them back over to my house. But I would bathe in my Flint water. And this is the thing. It was after 2020, so it's like you don't really know. They're saying the water is good. You don't really know. And I think they changed the pipes in front of my house. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they did.
So when I was on the reservation, we had water trucks that like stopped by every 2 weeks to like just fill up whatever at our house, and we have to live off that for the next 2 weeks.
So you had to ration the water?
Yes, we had to ration the water. So
were you able to like shower and things? Or was it baths?
It was baths. So we would like boil like a pot on the stove, and then my grandma would like carry over to like the kids in the bath and just kind of like baptize us in a way.
Nice.
but like it'll still be like the same pot we use for like cooking. So sometimes you'll see like carrots that just like fall out of the pot, and like that'll be like our little dessert at the very end. So
swooping in,
yeah,
taking a bath,
catching like goldfish. Yeah.
Nice, dude. I mean, I feel like that type of upbringing definitely just makes you think of things differently. Obviously, like, because I don't know if you have this perspective, but I feel like moving to a city from a different, like, I feel like your upbringing is radically different than mine, because you're maybe not, but I just feel like for me, it's like I come here and I almost feel like people who grow up in a city, they just think differently. They have like a different type of mentality, just like almost like spiritually they think differently. Whereas if you grow up, I think, in just some more of a rural area, I don't know how would you say that you were in a rural? I would say it's pretty rural if they're just bringing you water.
I think so. Wait, what do you mean by spiritual? What is that?
Like people, I think people. I don't know. I just get the sense that people don't think so. How would I say? So I get the sense that if you're in a city and you've just got shit going on all the time and it's just constant, movement, you never have that thing where you just stop and you look at the stars and you just think.
Oh, okay.
Like you just don't get that built into you.
Your mind's on like the next thing constantly.
Because that's how you live.
You're in motion. Okay.
I mean, think about it. When you move to a city, that's what happens. That becomes your life.
Yeah.
So I think if you grow up that way, it must just mold you into like a whole different type of person that I would never even be because I never grew up that way.
When I first came to Chicago, I met this lady. She was a city person, so lived in Chicago their whole lives except for college, and she was just very active. She like knew how to communicate with everyone, and that was actually something I really admired about that person.
Yeah,
when you can knew how to talk to everyone of like every culture and every race, and you treated them with like kind of like the same, the demeanor, and I'm like, oh, this person's like really chill and everything. So I think that's something that was a big takeaway from coming to the city when they first got here. But you are right. Their minds are very hyperactive. My mind's active after being in like the city because there's always stuff you can be doing.
Yeah, I think that's why I moved here is because I am hyperactive.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like realized, oh, this isn't going to work where I'm at. I got to go somewhere where I can take advantage of this better.
Yeah. But when I'm from when I moved from Arizona to Colorado's really big into nature, and you have like these giant, beautiful Rocky Mountains.
Oh, that's awesome!
And it becomes this whole other thing of just hiking and being alone and just being with your thoughts, and it's just like, oh, this is it's very comforting. It's comforting in the way when you're alone in an apartment, that kind of is like its own prison, and like it's kind of like hellish in a weird way. So I get why people don't want to be alone in a city.
Right.
But if you're like alone in nature, it's like, oh my God, this is tranquil,
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
You notice things. You don't notice things if you're alone in this apartment. That's like how you get depression. Mm-hmm. But you notice, you get something else that clicks into your mind, like, oh, this is natural.
Yeah.
This is natural.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have a property up north. Like my dad has property up north, and so I would go up there growing up, and that was always really nice because I feel like that too, right? You get that slice of that. I've always wanted to live in the mountains. Speaking of water again, oh my God, that mountain water must be amazing. Was it good? Was it good?
Rocky Mountain's delicious. I was in New York for like 3 days, and then this New Yorker's like, yeah, New York's the champagne and water. We have the best water.
That's what they say?
And yeah, they do.
Oh, they're lying.
First of all, it's a weird brag.
I don't believe that. I've never been to New York. I just know they're lying. There's
it
no
is.
way.
Like, we have the best water filtrations. It's whatever. But you go to Rockies.
That's the difference between Chicago and New York. Chicago doesn't really give a fuck about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
New York's going to tell you, like, we got the best water.
It's not the best water. It has no taste, and it tastes like dusty pipes.
Because like New York people, that's funny. They really are. Like, they'll be like, New York has everything, dude. We've got everything.
Yeah.
They love to tell you they've got everything ever.
Yeah, they got high rent. That's what
they got the best water. They've got the best everything. I didn't know that they said that. That's really funny.
The champagne of water. That's what they call their faucet tap. And I'm like, no. No, we'll go to the Rockies and like there's just natural minerals and sediments in it. Yeah. And like you taste the difference. Yeah. When my cousins came up from Arizona on like the desert, they came to the first thing they said when they came here is they tasted the faucet water and like, this is delicious.
See, that's what really I want. Good. That experience right there.
Yeah.
And like when you talk about hiking and all this, like, I don't know, that to me, that's like part of, if I ever can just step away from this life and move into another life, that's probably the one I would like to go into, is something a little bit more connected to something like that. I feel like I like doing all this shit that I do all the time.
Yeah.
But I also know that it's all those other things you said to like 3 minutes ago resonate with me much more than the hustle and bustle of a city. Yes. Like I would much rather engage with nature and notice things.
Yes.
To me, that's living. That's like actually, that's the thing that fuels creativity. And I think we're all searching for nature in unnatural places. That's what's happened to all of us. We're all looking for nature. We just don't know where to find it at all. When really it's right there next to us all the time.
Yeah, well, that's why people go.
That's why parks are preserved.
No, dude, I'm like a big fan of like parks and just hanging out in general. That's why I live in like by the lake in Lincoln Park. So it's just like, oh yeah, I need something to be around that reminds me of just there's something bigger than me. Like there's so much obsession with ego, like especially when you do stand up. It's like there's people who's like, oh, that person's getting this and I want that, but it's just like no, you just there's something so much bigger at work, and if you miss that, you're missing kind of the whole point, because then everything else doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. And I remember reading once before I moved here. I was on Reddit or something like that. It was just people talking about living in a city. And I can't even remember what the context was, but it was like people talking about how if you're walking in a city, you see yourself in like a sea full of people, like that could also do the same exact thing.
I know that feeling, and I felt that was very nice being a nobody. I really like that. When you don't stand out, it's very nice.
It makes you realize how insignificant it all really is.
That and
like all your problems, everything you're carrying with you, everything you think is important. Like in this sea of people, you are just another face.
And you can just be yourself.
Yeah.
You can that's why you see so many different cultures and people expressing themselves in different ways. That's why people are more open with their sexuality in the city.
Yeah.
Because there's so many motherfuckers here that's just like, oh, just let me be me.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some crazy shit taking the subway ride home.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's probably where I've seen the craziest things. That, or I guess if you're walking around downtown during summer in the right places, you'll probably see some good stuff. I remember before I moved here, too, and I haven't seen this since, so I'm kind of glad I haven't. I just assumed this was a thing you might see sometimes, but it's not. So I was at the hotel that we stay at downtown, and because my mom and I would come visit, right?
Hotel?
Yeah. So there's hotels downtown, and
the Drake, the Hyatt area.
So it's Hotel Blake, and we're at Hotel Blake, and because my mom has like the blue green thing or whatever, so timeshare. So you have a nice window there. You can see like right out onto the street, unless you get the other side where you're just facing the wall. Like you actually don't know until you get there. It's kind of fun. Like, am I going to have a shit view where I just look out the window and see bricks, or am I going to be able to see the street? Because you don't actually know until you get your room. You might be able to request it, but I don't think you can. So anyway, we get the nice view, the street view, and I'm looking out, I'm enjoying the view, right? And then I see a homeless man pull his pants down and projectile shit onto the sidewalk, and I'd never seen that before in real life, and I thought, oh, this is the city. This is really it. Luckily I wasn't outside, I was behind the window, so that actually helped.
Dude, I almost did that before I got here. I needed to be so bad, and you weren't here, so I'm like, I gotta go.
I mean, I feel like peeing in public versus shitting in public, two completely different things. I mean, if you poop in public, I've never done that before.
I don't know.
I've peed in public. I'll admit that. I've never pooped in public, not once. Because I just can't imagine having to poop so bad that I wouldn't just poop my pants. I would drop my pants and poop somewhere in a corner. I've never done it. And I'm not even making that up. I'm not lying. I'm not hiding any information.
I mean, pooping is probably more frowned upon, but I think peeing is worse. Peeing.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Well, do you want to see the ass or do you want to see the other side, Well,
it's not about, because most of the time you pee in a corner, though. Because I'm thinking about what you're leaving behind.
Oh, I thought you were saying just out in the open like that.
No. I mean, like, because, I mean, like, just out. I mean, when I'm out. Like, I've never been out and been like, oh, no.
Yeah.
There's no bathrooms. I have to go so bad. I'm just going to go in an alley.
Okay.
It's never happened to me.
Yeah, well, if you're doing it out in the open, I think, peeing
out in the open's wild.
Yeah, that's why peeing out in the open's way worse. Like you can get on the sex offender registry if you do that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because
if you're in the open, it's worse to pee.
Yes, people jerk off like on the train. So if you whip that out, it's like, oh, this guy's jerking off.
But if you shit, it's not as bad.
Exactly.
There was a lady. I mean, if a girl pees, it's not as bad because a girl can squat.
Yes, exactly, they can do both. So it's just like girls have. This is a woman privilege.
That is. I was about to say that, female privilege, because it actually happened to me once. That's one of my train stories. I always sit in the front now. Folks, if you can, always sit in the front. That's my advice. So I used to not do that, and I was sitting in the back on my way home one of these nights, red line, and I was on the phone, and I'm just talking on the phone with my dad. I'm just saying, hey, da 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 da. And I see the person in front of me like with this horrified face, like, it was almost comical how horrified their face was. And so I'm like, what could they possibly be looking at? And I look over to my left and I see presumably the homeless woman in the back of the train is like squatting on the train car, and she's about to do something. And so I look over and I'm just trying to be respectful. I'm just going to ignore her, whatever. You know, this is what it is. But then I see the pee slowly rolling towards me because it's one of those seats with the hole in it. So that way if you spill something, it goes through the seat. Yes. So, you know, the pee was naturally filtered.
Oh, that's why it's there. Okay.
Probably.
It's engineering design.
They're like, we can't keep having the pee in these seats.
Exactly. You want to pee with a little privacy, you could just sit down and let it happen.
Oh, dude. And because of gravity, the pee is slowly going down this way. So I was like, okay, now I have to get up. You know, I was gonna be nice, but I had to switch cars after that. I can't pee on my shoes.
Yes.
That's not that's if you're that nice, you're too nice.
Yes, can't mess up the New Balance. Oh, yeah, yours off right now. The New Balance. I'll say New Balances. I love New Balance. That's my.
I'm wearing my socks inside of the train. I don't. That would actually just be crazy, just because how dirty your socks would be. Or like being barefoot.
Yes.
Oh my god. That would you'd probably get sick.
Wait, I have a question for you. Are there holes in your socks right now?
No, not right now. I actually have gotten so annoyed with having holes in my socks. Yes. I just try to throw them away at this point.
Well, there's holes in your pants. There's holes in your shirt you're wearing. There's a lot of holes going on.
Right, it would be on brand. And the thing is, it was actually pissing me off yesterday because, I was thinking, I'm a server. I don't want to have my ripped jeans again. I'm not supposed to wear ripped jeans. And they're nice to me about it, but they said something to me about it the day before. They're like, oh, you have ripped jeans. And I said, yep. You know, but they're nice to me about it. And so the next day I'm thinking, okay, so where are my non-ripped jeans? And it's like, I think I have like 3 pairs of dirty jeans that are not ripped, and then all my clean jeans are ripped. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, do I only have ripped jeans? I think 2 of my jeans are newly ripped.
Why are they ripped? Let's get to the bottom of this mystery.
I don't know. What the fuck is wrong with my knees, right? Is it my knees? Like, look at this. 2. I got ashy ass knees, and this is something that's an ongoing problem for me.
Yeah.
And folks, if you got any remedies, if you're watching this, you got any remedies? Because it's like, it looks like I'm on my knees all day. That's what my knees look like. It's very suspect.
Do you eat beets at all?
No, but Dave Bradley, the comedian, very into beets. He actually gave me beet juice. We talked about it for 30 minutes on the show. So if you're about to tell me about beets, he told me all about the health benefits. Yes. Would it help my knees?
It would help with blood flow, so it might be helping with the ashiness. So
but I mean, like, I run too, and when I run, it doesn't even change.
I mean, it's helping more with like the skin color and texture, so it might just like make it more what it should be with the rest of it.
We'll see.
Yeah, but you have alabaster skin too. Yeah, you have like alabaster skin. It's very common in Arizona. So you have like cactus skin. So basically, it gets ashy and it's more susceptible to like sun damage.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I think that's why I have.
But I've never wear sunscreen. And I've never gotten sunburns.
How old are you?
I get like lightly sunburnt, but I don't really like sunburnt. Yeah. And it's not like I don't spend any time outside.
May I ask how old you are?
27.
You're 27?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see what happens in 3 years.
Dude, I like rarely wear sunscreen. And that's probably just how I'm going to get cancer. That's probably why I need to wear the sunscreen, right?
Well, you're kind of okay because it's the Midwest. You know, during the winter, it's like overcast, like 98% of the time. But you see it a lot in Arizona because when the sun's shining like 200 days out of the year, you see the difference.
But it's different there, right? Because it's just so hot and the sun's beaming on you. I imagine that'd be a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, there's that the case, but it's just, I mean, you're going to be more protected, I think, just in the Midwest. But, it's still real. It's still going to hit you at some point.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to start with the sunscreen.
Yeah.
My mom tells me the same things. And I think, we were talking about exercise before this. Maybe it's like a better late than never thing.
Yes.
Even though I still probably more exposed to cancer than everybody else my age. Still get started now.
Walk around with an umbrella like the Addams Family.
Trying to make up for lost time.
It's like there's Monday, there's Tuesday, there's Ruse. All right.
There's ways you could protect yourself. I just walk in the shade always like a vampire.
Only come out at night.
Why do you do that? I'm trying to save my life, dude.
You're like Batman.
Trying to extend my longevity. I mean, you see this thing about how people want to extend their lives forever now? That's a thing now. They want to extend their lives forever.
I don't think they do.
They want to live forever. But it's like this guy who I think he's like taking a bunch of shit that nobody's ever taken. I wish I knew his name, but I just see his posts every now and then, and it's like a thing where he's trying to eat in this certain way and live as long as he possibly can, and he's going to live till he's like 150, 200 years, 250 years. But to me, it's like, what's the point? Like, if you're doing something like you're not even...
That's just one crazy guy who's getting all attention. I don't think people want to live that long. That's never been the case.
I think people do want to live a long time, but I think that people don't know why they want to live a long time. Because if you were to ask people, how long do you want to live? I don't think they would really have a good answer. You know, I think they would want to live a long time. Like, I don't think anybody really wants to die. So you think like, oh, 100 years, that's not a long time.
I think 65, 67, that's kind of a good time to go.
You think so? If I could pick, I would go a little bit longer. But the thing is, you age. So it's like, if I'm taking this deal, I'm saying like I age slower. Like, hopefully I'm aging slower. So by the time I'm like 150, it's more like I'm 90 or something. Yeah, well, maybe I get to 180. Like, maybe I get to see a couple more grandkids going.
Well, when people talk about age, you think about appearance. I think about like, is your body still working?
Right.
Can you still like move around? Can you still do what you want? And everything kind of starts to tumble like around that 70-year mark.
Well, and even then, you think about it that way, age kind of extends beyond numbers because you have people who age a lot faster than other people.
Yeah, that's just like if you're drinking like every single shout out St. Patty's Day. If you're drinking, if you're drinking every single day, then yeah, it's gonna like have a toll on you. You don't get any of these effects when like you're in your 20s. Your 30s, you're like, all right, I feel a little groggy, but then your 40s, that's when things break.
Right.
Yes, because that's when all the habits finally catch up with you. Tom Brady's incredible and in great shape because he just never fucking took a break with anything.
That's why I don't understand professional wrestlers, because they, like, I think they retired about 40, but then some of them stick around and they're like superhumans, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even make sense. And like, when I was a kid, I used to think, oh, that's cool that they can do that. And now as an adult, I think, how in the world are they jumping onto these like, I'm an adult now. So I look at these people who are like double my age, jumping 30 feet off a ladder, and I'm thinking, what in the world am I looking at? Because it's so much different than when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you're looking at that, you're just thinking, oh, that's just a thing that people do.
Yeah.
When you're an adult, you're thinking, why would anybody who's 45 years old be willing to do that? But that's what makes it respectable, I suppose. You know, I would never fight either. I'd never be a professional fighter.
Well, it's like mixing parkour with gymnastics. That's what wrestlers are. That's why they're in these incredible shapes, and they're athletes, like without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and like some of them are just crazy athletes. I mean, I would say that
they're tall too. They're like 6'3", 6. I didn't realize how big they are. Big Show's 7 feet. I'm like, as a kid, you're like, he's a big guy. But then you see 7 feet, you're like, oh, he's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Brock Lesnar is like one of those people that everybody says, oh my God, when you see him on TV, he looks big. You see him in person, it's unbelievable how big he is.
He has that fucking, Samoan belly body. It's just, it's huge. Everything he has on him is just a muscle. And it's like looking at JJ Watt, he is not a human.
Right.
He is not a human. He's too massive. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
The Great Khali, who's another giant one? Andre the Giant, I guess the OG of like the giant wrestlers.
He had gigantism too.
Yeah.
So he was still growing.
How young was he when he died? It's a good question. I'm gonna look it up.
Probably 40 something.
He had to be young because I mean that's what happens when you're. That's the thing about being that tall. That's why I don't mind not being tall. It's something I always think is like the taller you are, it's like the bigger animals die slower or die faster because the blood. It's all about the blood flow. You got too much space to pump this blood throughout your body. Your heart can only work so hard.
Yeah.
So you get so big, your heart's trying to compensate for all that space.
You need more resources to fill yourself. You need medicine. Your knees, your poor knees, your poor feet. The feet need to be massive to support all that.
I never even thought about that.
Well, like every person, I think I'm a big NBA guy, so I like reading about the centers. Like if you're over like 7 feet, typically every center gets like back ejections before every game.
Wow.
Just to like deal with like some of the pain or like some of the stress that works on it. Because they're also like fighting other 7-footers for space. And you're just getting clobbered by these muscle men. It's like, wear and tear on your body, man.
Dude. Have you ever wanted to play any sports? Ever?
I did long distance back in the day. Then I also I played basketball. I was a really good basketball player.
So. Long distance running?
Yeah,
and then
big runner.
Basketball. Yeah. I feel like those were two sports I could have done because I never really did basketball, but I never felt tall enough. That's actually one of the things. But running is something I always feel like I missed out on, growing up. I could have done track for sure. I like running.
Yeah.
I just always liked running anyways.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just a natural thing to do.
So
I want to eventually do a marathon, but I hate that you even have to pay. Like, to me, it's like, why don't I just run a marathon myself and just do it so I did it and not pay you people?
So what are you running from?
I feel like when I'm running, one of the things I like to think is like I'm fighting all of the resistance I've ever faced in my entire existence. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like what's going to make me better at doing everything is if I just fight this, whatever this is right now, like just move through this, I can do anything else. And I think that's what you have to think, especially if you're trying to push yourself. So, because I mean, dude, I'm an idiot. When I first started running, that's why I can't run right now, and it kind of bugs me. Like, I can, but I can't, because I have to wear shitty shoes, and it kind of fucks my feet up, because I was running in my boots, like shoes. They're hiking shoes, and I was running in those. I'm such an idiot, because I thought, I just got to start running, and I didn't think anything about the shoes I was wearing.
Yeah.
And so I ran probably, I don't know, like 100 miles like that, and eventually my knees are like fucked, dude. My knees were fucked up, and but the whole time, the reason I got that far is because I kept telling myself, okay, well, if I can do this, I can do anything.
Yeah. Sounds like your mentality worked against you in this case.
Yeah, at that point, it didn't work great. But then I got the running shoes, and then it was working out good.
Yeah.
The running shoes, oh my God, I was like, wow, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And now I have other shoes that I can use, but the running shoes, like, they fucked up within like 3 months. Oh, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So I'm trying to use these other shoes now, and these other shoes aren't as good. So I haven't been running, but I love running. And I feel like I like to run, like, probably, I don't know. If I could, I'd be running 5 to 7 miles at a time. Like, that, to me, that's a good number. Because I want to get myself to a point where 27 miles ain't shit. But I'm surprised people can even do that. Because to me, 15 miles is crazy. When I run, like, 12, I think the most I've ever ran at once is about 12 and a half. But it's all about pacing yourself. It's all about getting used to it. It's all about. That's why I think you have to fight that resistance, because like the ceiling raises the more and more you do something, you know. And it's just another example of that. But I think it's we were talking earlier about like getting physically fit and feeling better. To me, running and cardio is like the cheat code to that. It's even faster and more efficient than if you were to be lifting weights, in my opinion. I just feel better right away. And I sweat like a motherfucker, dude. So that's probably part of it too. I feel like my body's literally detoxing. Like, it's part of what's happening. I love running so much. I really do. I feel like if I lost my legs, I would be so sad. That's something I've thought about. Like, if I couldn't run, how the fuck would I even do cardio? Is there another way? I don't think there is. Like speed crawling, that'd probably be what I'd have to do. I don't know what you do to keep up the cardio when you lose your legs, because that would really suck. I love running that much. It's the best. You know, it's the best. I don't know about you. Do you like running? I mean, you ran, but do you like it that much? Do you have a connection to it at all, or is it just kind of a thing?
I started running when I was maybe in 6th grade. So it was just as part of this run club when I was little. But I talk to a lot of runners, and I find some things very similar amongst them. So do you like consider yourself like an introverted person?
I would consider myself an introverted extrovert. Like, I'd probably be somewhere in the middle. Because, I mean, I am introverted, but it wouldn't look like it from the outside, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, I'm looking at your set. This is the first time I'm really meeting you and, like, talking to you. You're very kind when I actually first met you in person.
Thanks.
Like, it was it took me aback. I'm like, oh, this guy's going to go for it. Actually, it is what I thought. Because you had, like, your business cards. You're, like, saying, hey, man, just good job. Like, you know, really like your stuff. And that's such a kind thing to do.
Yeah.
For a stranger.
Yeah.
You were very kind about that.
Dude, thank you. I do those things naturally. I spent a day this last year, like after Christmas. It was like, because I had to do it in time, because if I didn't do it on time, I couldn't say like Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah.
So I tried to run through like everybody I possibly could, and I tried to make it so each one was a little bit personalized. Like, Merry Christmas, you know, it was so nice meeting you. We talked about this. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
I spent like a whole day doing that. I feel like I do this to my own detriment, because in my mind, that's how do I put it? Like, I'm not even doing it on purpose. I think that's the thing that makes someone stand out anyway. It's like if you actually care and you actually are like excited to do what you're doing, you actually want to do what you're doing. Like, I don't know, I've said this plenty of times, but I feel like people like role play in a sense, and like you'll see people who are role playing all the time, no matter what profession you're in. Like you'll see people who are role playing in comedy, you'll see people role playing in music. It almost feels like they're just kind of clocking in and doing it, and they don't really care, or like you see it all the time, all over the place. And so I feel like that's what makes it stand out when people really do care, because it's like, oh my god, like this person. So it makes you think, oh, this person's gonna go far, because it's like you don't see that as often as you'd like to see that. Yeah,
well, it's a very uncomfortable thing for people to learn how to do.
Right, yeah.
Because the fact that
I don't think I almost feel like it's you need an inner like resolution. You know, you need to be confident enough to be able to approach people like that.
Yeah, and get comfortable feeling comfortable about doing that with yourself and getting that habit in place.
Because you can't be worried about what another person's going to think. Yeah. Like, I don't care if someone rejected me. I don't care if I walked up to you and hand you my card and say, you know, nice to meet you. I don't care if you like shrug me off and walk away. Like, yeah. It doesn't affect me. Yeah. I was just trying to be nice.
Well, like I see that you're really big in like self-improvement. So it's interesting seeing the books you're reading, like how you're tapering your mind. So
yeah, and dude, I have so many books in here. I wish I could find a way to get them more on camera. Like I think I need to get a bookshelf or something. Like, I got a couple that I put over here, but that's about the best I can do.
I don't think these are reflective of like which are actually what I'm seeing right here.
I'm saying exactly. It's like a small sample size of what's actually going on in this room.
Have you read this one? Brave New World.
Brave New World. I read. Dude, that book's awesome. That actually inspired a song I wrote called Forever Never After is the name of the song. And it was right after I read that book, because so I'll say for one, with the book itself, the book is interesting because, have you read the book?
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting because you put it in perspective. It's like a dystopian future, but it's before you had World War I and World War II happen. So you didn't have this totalitarian idea come out yet of that becomes like a 1984 dystopian future. So it was a dystopian future before that. And what that was a dystopian future based on hedonism and based on people being too obsessed with pleasure and too obsessed with just being too complacent and being too satisfied. And yeah, I think a lot of people know 1984. Not as many people know Brave New World. And it's a good conversation. Like, are we closer to which one? And I would argue we're probably closer to Brave New World.
Brave New World's better than 1984, and it's way more applicable to what we have now.
It's scary how applicable it is.
It's really scary.
And with this book right here, have you read Brave New World Revisited?
I haven't read that.
So I've read the beginning of it, and it's really interesting because it's Huxley himself writing about the ideas of Brave New World like 10 to 15 years later, and how they're coming true in the real world as he presented them, like metaphorically in the book. Like we're getting closer to that world that he built, and he's showing how we are, but through real world examples. Yeah. And that's, again, you place that in time. That's forever ago now. So how far have we moved in that direction since? Like, I think, you apply that to the real world now. It's so easy to say, like, we're just so with the song I wrote, the idea is you don't want to dream forever is the hook. You don't really want to dream forever. And then there's a drug in the book called Soma. And so in my mind, the idea is like everybody's on Soma and everybody's taking this drug that's going to make them complacent. And I think that makes people get lost in this world of idealization and just imagination and not actualization and not doing things.
Yes.
And to me, that's kind of one of the ideas that's presented in Brave New World is like, that's what's going to happen is people will lose their agency unless they take their agency. And so this idea of you don't really want to dream forever. And that was how I wrote the song. But it's just
but people do want to dream forever,
and they do want to dream. That's why it's such a powerful book, and that's why it's so frustrating.
And they win.
People
in that
are
book.
hedonistic.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they win. The good guy loses in the book.
What's so brilliant about the book, I think, is like it's kind of a twist. It's kind of like you're thinking the whole way through. Oh, these people are being taken advantage of, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh no, they're not being taken advantage of. This is just what they wanted.
They have the choice to leave, but they don't leave.
Yeah, because you have the way the book presents it, you got this rebel and he's kind of like trying to fight against it, and it's a love story, and you know these two people are going to break out of this system, and then all of a sudden they realize the system is not even broken. It's just functioning as everybody wants it to, you know? And that's more likely the reality we're in. That's more likely it's not going to be people taking over and taking everything. It's going to be you not even noticing that that's already happened. It already happened. Because we just don't even care. Like, I think we're just so obsessed with everything happening all the time. Like, we just have a million things. If I bring up one idea I like to say a lot, because I just think it's true. You could tell me anything now. Like, we're in a world now where you could tell me anything. Like, you could literally say, like, dude, there was a vampire in Transylvania and it was on the news yesterday. And I wouldn't believe you for a second, but then maybe if you like show me a video and I got a couple sources, I'd be like, holy shit, there was a vampire in Transylvania yesterday. Because we're in the future, dude. It's like you could tell me anything. You could tell me dinosaurs exist, and I believe you. I would like if they Jurassic Park just brought back a dinosaur. I'd be like, yeah, I guess they did. I'm pretty sure we're almost there with that one. I think they're trying to revive lost creatures at this point.
Yeah,
like, it's just crazy the point we're at, because I think that's part of what makes this happen. Like, people just were so overwhelmed. Like, anything could literally happen, and we'd be like, oh, I guess that happened now. Yeah, and it's only. I think the simulation's a little broken. That's another one of my theories. I think if we're in a simulation's past its expiration date, and like the aliens are watching the simulation and they're like, whoa, this is a good one.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Wait, can you expand on that more? Like, we're in a simulation.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
I mean,
here comes conspiracy time.
That one goes deep, because you got Terence McKenna, and Terence McKenna had this whole idea before he died, and there's a good clip of him talking about it, about I want to say, what is it called? It's a certain name, something theory. I mean, I'm trying to look it up because it's gonna pop right up, and I don't want to get it wrong. McKenna theory. It's gonna pop. Oh no, that's his book. And it's Jed McKenna. That's not even the right McKenna. Wow, I thought this was going to be easier, folks. Terence McKenna theory of novelty. Theory of novelty. And what the idea is, it's the Terence McKenna theory of novelty. And so it's this idea that we're going to get to a point, and I think he pinpointed it at about 2012, because he wanted, which is something that he would do. So you don't know how wacky that is, but he tied it to the Mayan calendar, and he just said that around the year 2012 is when we're going to get to the point where humanity will go beyond itself, and then we will get, like, because everything becomes more and more novel, but that's going to be a point where it's beyond novel and we're beyond humanity, and at that point we're going to reach this breaking point where we're breaking away from humanity, and we're getting beyond ourselves.
What does beyond humanity look like, in your own words?
The simulation extending outside of itself, or perhaps us lose that. Like, I think that's kind of where you could even say the loss of spirituality and all these things are connected to that. Like, I think humanity is being in nature and being connected to nature, and I think that humanity is it's hard to hold on. Like you are in a world now where you have people who are like leaders saying things like, oh, we need to get to a post-human world. You literally have people who think like that work with AI. So you do have that happening in the real world. Like, I want to say Sam Altman, the guy who runs OpenAI, like, he's said statements like that plenty of times, that, like, you know, we need to get over being humans and AI is going to be better than us and all this. And it's like, just thinking like that, like, these are things. And Terence McKenna is saying this, I want to say before he died, in the 80s and the 90s, because it's just, these are the things that go in and we think beyond human. I mean, Elon Musk saying we need a chip in our brain. Like, to me, that's crazy. That's just nuts. And they're going to sell it to you as, oh, well, we're curing something. We're going to cure something and we're going to make people better. Yeah, that's how you're going to sell it. And that's how it's going to be good at first. But then you're going to say, we're going to make everyone better. And then life becomes pay to play. And that's fucking the end of the world. Like, you can't have that. You can't have brain chips. Just leave that alone.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have this urge to move forward in these directions that I don't think we need to. And you become sci-fi movies. You become what used to be the past's idea of the future. And that's why we used to have those movies, because we were kind of trying to warn ourselves, like, oh, this is how this could go. And then we build robot dogs that can shoot guns.
So,
like,
so what's
what
like
is going on, dude?
What's the thing that reminds you most of humanity? Like, what makes you human?
Spiritual experiences. That's what I would say. A spiritual experience that one has with oneself. Like, it has to be something that you experience with yourself. Or I guess you could have it with others. You could have shared spiritual experiences. But to me, that's the most resonant thing. I've had spiritual experiences that I would say, yeah.
Yeah, do you have something in particular?
One I always mention is, because to me...
One that's not on shrooms?
Yeah, right. I have to say that because I was on mushrooms. Because that's what I was about to say. But the thing is, I also caveat that with you can have spiritual experiences outside of psychedelic drugs. I mean, it's crazy the ways you can have spiritual experiences. I've seen people do breathing exercises, like breath work is a crazy thing you'll see now.
Yeah, but yours, what is yours?
Yeah, but I just mean to say this to say I'm not promoting mushrooms. I mean, you do what you want to do. But for me, it's one of the things that changed my perspective forever, because I always do mushrooms alone. I always want to just, like, to me, it's a spiritual experience. It's not about, like, having fun. I mean, sometimes it can be, but to me, it's going to show you something. And I feel like it shows you things and reveals things to you. And what I realized was my purpose in life is to shine my light upon other people. And this was around, I want to say, like 2022.
Wait, set the scene here. What's going on? Are you by yourself?
I'm just by myself.
Apartment?
I'm just laying in my bed. I remember, I like to smoke weed when I do mushrooms, but I think that actually derails the experience, and you shouldn't do that, because I think it's like, if you think about it spiritually in the sense that it's like you're consuming something, and it's like, think about it like a god. Like, the god of mushrooms is taking over your mind. And so now you're in mushroom world. Okay, but now you're ruled by the god of weed because you smoked weed. So now you're ruled by two different gods. And if you're sober, I think being sober is more holistic. You're connected to the one god, the real god. But then you do these drugs, it connects you to a different god. I'm just saying, if you think about it this way, if you smoke weed when you do mushrooms, it kind of fucks the whole thing up, is my whole point. And people like nonchalantly be like, oh,
wait,
no,
okay,
it's fine,
so
but what happens is you start to, like, it just kind of fucking, it'll mind fuck the whole experience, kind of ruin it. Because mushrooms by themselves, oh, dude, it's almost like this, like, it feels like clean almost. It feels too good. It doesn't even make sense. It feels like my body just went through recycle mode. Like, and so anyways, that's what I was doing this day. I wasn't smoking weed.
So you're in your bed.
I'm just laying in my bed. I'm just staring up at the ceiling.
Do you have a joint with you, or you just have the mushrooms?
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't smoke this time. Okay. So I didn't smoke this time. I just did the mushrooms already.
What happened before this, though?
I'm just chilling in my apartment. Okay, I guess not my apartment, but I was at my house at that point because I was in a house. So I was chilling at a house.
Okay, just relaxing in your house. You had a long day at work, and just like, man, I want to kick it back for a little bit, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably do mushrooms like once every like 2 weeks, a month. So it's not like it's not like, oh, this is crazy. It wasn't like a crazy experience. But I probably did 5 grams of mushrooms. I did like a decent dose.
Okay.
And I don't know. I can't really set the stage because I don't remember like every single detail. It wasn't like a crazy thing. I think there was another good idea I had that time, but I can't remember. But this is the moment that stuck with me for ever since, because I just remember it was as if I understood my purpose in reality, dude. It was as if like, and because that's the thing, I think if like a spiritual breakthrough, like a spiritual experience, something like that, I think it's as if I'm in the perspective where I can see something so realistically that I can't unsee it. To me, that's like an unforgettable experience. That is what it is to be human. That's the exact thing that you're going to take and then be able to take infinite inspiration from. You know, it's the type of thing where an actor can draw on their previous experiences to give you something unique in particular. Whereas I don't think AI could do that in the same way, because, or anything could do it in the same way, because that is what it is to be human. You know, like to be human spiritually, or to have a spirit. And I think animals, I guess not, maybe not even to be human, right? Maybe to have a spirit is what I'm referring to more so, because I think animals could probably achieve the same exact thing, where they draw on previous experience and they have personalities and they exhibit certain
So if you
traits.
if you experience this on like mushrooms, do you think that was a genuine experience?
Yes, absolutely. Because the thing is, I think it shows you what's already in you. That's what I think. I think that what people often misinterpret is that it's like something that did something to you. I think you should look at all drugs that way. Is that it exposes something that's already in you, whatever experience you have on the drug. I mean, but more so with psychedelics for sure.
So why do we not experience this without it?
Because I think, well, it's a good question. I think that spiritually we have gotten away from ourselves. That was kind of something I was getting at earlier, because I mean, you could tie it to all sorts of things. Like I think we just think more religiously, and I think I think psychedelics make you think religiously. I really do think that. Like I think that they could be tied to religion. I don't know though. There's all kinds of theories about that.
Are you religious, like Catholic, Christian?
I would say I'm spiritually religious. Like I believe that there's something greater than this reality, but I could not tell you what it is.
What does that look like as a practice?
I would say it's kind of just like, I would say it's closest to Zen Buddhism. Because when I read about Zen Buddhism, I was like, wow, this really resonates with me. This is almost exactly what I already think, just written down. I was actually like amazed.
So you meditate? Is that how you...
Well, I would say that mushrooms are meditative, but I need to meditate more. I'm just bad at, I mean, it's that thing in my mind where I'm constantly moving. Like I'm bad at slowing it down, whereas something like a mushrooms will just fucking take me out of that entirely. It'll put me in like I want to say a vegetative state, but that sounds bad. But I mean it in like I don't even want to touch my phone when I'm on mushrooms or something. It'll ruin it. So I just stay away. You know, what my favorite thing to do is to like find a good movie. Like my favorite movies to watch on mushrooms are Tarkovsky movies. He's my favorite director of all time right now. And, oh my God, he's just the best, because I feel like they're like spiritually amazing movies, dude. Some of the best movies I've ever seen. But why do I go on this tangent? What did you ask me? You had a good question.
And before the mushrooms ones, I don't know where we.
I mean, I feel like just if that revelation, if thinking that way would happen otherwise, I think it can, but it's all about how you get to that point. I think it's all about how you get there, because I think that people, they just like it's kind of what I was saying before. They don't think spiritually. I just think it's just more so now than ever, but especially you go to an urban area or a city, it's just so much harder to slow down and appreciate things. And I think that those types of experiences are the closest you're going to get to reality. I think we get so far away from that with technology, and we forget our place in time. You know, you put yourself 400 years ago. It's not like time, everything used to be better. We're actually in a great point in time, but it's just the point is we're so inundated with everything else that's why you see spiritual resorts and people. So that's why you see mushrooms becoming the new marijuana, in the sense that they're getting a more positive stigma, and because I think people do have this.
I don't think it's people having a lack of spirituality. I think it's people having a lack of practicing spirituality.
Yeah, but I think that's something that is taught, and so I don't think we have that mentality in our culture.
I think it is taught. I mean,
I would say maybe in Eastern culture, but not in Western culture.
Western just changes the name of the god, or changes the name of the philosophy.
But don't you think that the way that people think spiritually is different? Like, don't you think that because that's something I was reading about with Zen Buddhism. That was kind of like one of the points they were making, is that Zen Buddhism and the way they were thinking is a little bit more holistic and a little bit more like a Zen Buddhist is not professing answers to you. That's the whole point, is that there are no real answers. Whereas I feel like a Christianity is kind of all about answers, and it's all about.
I think because my mom, she does a lot of practicing Buddhist, and my girlfriend's from India, so she's like gives me the whole breakdown for what it is over there. but it's a lot more. There are answers. Like Christianity has answers, Buddhism has answers, but for Buddhism, it's something that's more tangible that you get through meditation.
But I mean, like reaching Zen and all this, isn't the whole idea that it's not something you can achieve, like you can actually get?
Well, that's like the weird part of the illusion is like it's realizing, oh, this is all there is.
Yeah.
And then you got to become to grips with, okay, you can relax in this.
Yeah, because I just get the sense that Christianity doesn't teach those kinds of.
I mean, Christianity
ethics.
does like a lot of like peace of mind, saying something will happen, which is the same idea, but it just gets there to a different way.
Yeah. I don't know, because I think both are true. That's why I would say I'm more close to spirituality. I think you can draw from all religions, and I think if you look at it without your ego attached, you can see a lot of truth in all these things. And I think what religion's ultimately trying to do before it gets co-opted by the evils of humanity is it's trying to teach people how to be a good person. I think that's mostly what it's trying to do.
Yeah, I mean,
because we all just learn through stories. That's why we like movies. So they're trying to tell you a story where you can get a good moral, you can learn a good lesson. I feel like that's what the idea is.
Yeah,
mythology is what it is.
Well, when I think of like religion, I always like try to be grounded. Like there's always negatives to point at it, always positives, but I always like try to speak from like personal experience.
Well, you have to have empathy for other people's religions too, right? Because you never know why someone is religious or what gets them to that point. Like if you say, "Oh, I'm a Christian and I hate all."
Do you have like example of like someone you met that was like that?
Well, I do. I guess I just mean in general, right? Because you meet somebody and I feel I take that initiative. I take that approach towards anybody where it's like I don't want to make any judgment because I'd rather you share it with me. So I would not want to say to you, "Oh, I dislike this," because then you're gonna immediately not gonna want to share or whatever it is. So if you told me like, "Oh, I'm this," I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I don't really agree with that." I would rather ask questions and say things like this. So I can't think of any specific person where it really like blew me away. I guess I met a Jehovah's Witness once before. That was a little bit crazy because they're interesting. They actually kind of are convincing. They're good salespeople. Well, I worked at a food commodity place, and I didn't realize they were Jehovah's Witness until like they went through their
food commodity.
Yeah, so I worked it was when I was working in Flint, and it was called G Card, and we would give. It's like poor people come in, and you give them boxes full of food, and so they come through and you give them food, and I think that was my first job. I want to say that was my first job I ever had. And so when I was doing that, I remember somebody's talking to me like, "Oh, just like they're just so nice." And they were very charismatic. They were talking about, how they see a lot in me, just being so nice to me. And then at the very end, boom, they hand you the pamphlet. And you realize what happened. Yeah. And they got you. And that happened to me a couple times. But yeah.
Why is that bad though?
No, it's not bad. Yeah. It's not bad at all. That's what I'm saying. I understand these people, but I just think it's. I just didn't even know. What was funny to me about it was I didn't know it was happening until it was over. Yeah. Until I got the pamphlet, I was like, oh. Yeah. But I don't care. Because that's what I'm saying. I appreciate the fact that people even have different worldviews than me. I feel like the world's boring if it's my world. If it's just my perspective, that's kind of why I say the thing about my purpose is to shine my light upon others. I actually enjoy doing that. I enjoy seeing what other people say and do and all that. I like doing it. And so I don't think other people think that way. I don't think everybody would want to do an interview or want to actually talk to other people. And I think a lot of people, when they do interviews or podcasts, it's kind of transactional. That's what you'll see a lot of times. People aren't doing it out of curiosity. They're doing it out of like, oh, I want to get somewhere with this. I want to do something with this. And you can feel that. You can just tell the difference. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, why do you do comedy? What is it that makes you want to do comedy? Because usually, one thing I always notice is people always stumble into comedy. They find comedy at some point in their lives. You never usually meet people who started comedy at 8 years old. So, how does that happen to you?
I mean, you can't start comedy at 8 years old. You can maybe start it probably in your teens, but you need just a life experience and just something that there's some trauma involved with it. I think so. Just something you feel wrong, like you don't feel like you fit in the world. And that's kind of like what gravitates people to stand up. For me, like I would have been like a really good engineer. Like I got my degree in civil engineering from like CU Boulder. Yeah. And I love math. and it was really fun. I loved the logic. You could like hear someone speak, and then you start to see it in terms of numbers. You're like, okay, he's doing this, he's following this pattern. Like I just see like patterns so often with like how people speak, their
And that's like
movements.
to the point I just said, right? Like most people wouldn't think that way. Like you have that in you to think like that.
Well, it's something that's trained. I don't think I was fully like this way till after
really?
I left engineering school.
But you don't think you were maybe like, I don't know, set up for it? Like when you got there, it resonated with you, right?
I was a very outgoing person.
Yeah.
I mean, like introvert in the sense that like get stuff done. I like reading, I like running, very quiet, isolated things. But oh yeah, your brain does get rewired when you love math. Like it changes. You just start to see things in terms of like patterns and what's going on.
Einstein's interesting because he thought that math was connected to God.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he thought that it was you could discover the universe through math,
Yeah. Well, you can.
and then that was connecting yourself to God.
Yeah. What's the idea of like if you can master one thing, you can master everything.
Have you ever heard the quote, once you see the way broadly, you see it in all things? I love that quote so much. It's like some samurai quote, but I think
Broadly, you see it all things.
it's that where you can, I think if you take that approach towards skills, you're just all the wiser because you're understanding that this is going to lead to something else outside of
having
itself.
foresight of it all.
Yeah, like it's
yeah.
all connected somehow.
Yeah.
You don't know how, but it is.
Yeah, I mean everything is like it's the same patterns for everything. If you want to be very successful at one thing, you should start by getting very successful at one thing.
Yeah.
And then just carry over what you learn from that. It's like, all right, it takes this amount of hours to get good at this. This is who I talk to. I have to like talk to someone who's better than me at this. And if that's the level I want to go, listen to him, then keep going from there and just keep developing the skill set I need one at a time.
Yeah.
There's like you can't ask like a professional comic who's like 25 years in the game who's like doing theaters. It's like, hey man, what should I do for stand up? He's not gonna know what to say to you.
Yeah.
That's a 25-year difference. He's gonna say, I know what you can do in 1970 at open mics, but
Right.
the path is you're too different. By the time you turn 30 years old from everyone else, there's no point in comparing yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, and learning from other people, that's a good point too, where it's kind of really hard to learn from like somebody who's got way more experience than you, because you kind of just have to learn through failure and doing it, especially with comedy, I imagine.
Failure creates humility.
Yeah.
You need humiliation to motivate you to do the next thing.
Yeah.
You need that impetus. This is why like people who do the same set, they're not going to improve, or they do the
Right.
same style of joke. And it's just like, you see the patterns, Like, I guess, I don't know, I'm almost in 6 years in, and like there's people I started with who are kind of doing the same thing, and there are people you see who are like growing at the rate you're growing. There are people who grew above that. You see what little people are working on, and like all these little things you realize didn't matter, they're adding up. They compound like interest, and then it's like, oh my gosh, this guy is way up here, and before you know it, growth is never it's never linear.
Right.
It's like it's exponential, So sometimes you have a dot here, point S, and then you make the graph, and then suddenly, if you did everything you were supposed to do, collected all these skills, had a nice breadth, then it just starts to shoot up like that.
Right.
It all comes together at the very end.
And it's crazier the longer and longer you stick around and the more and more you see it happen, right? Because I mean, it's sometimes with people you don't expect. Sometimes it's like, whoa, it happens way faster for some people than other people and doesn't even seem to make sense.
I mean, it always makes sense. There's always like nothing happens by accident.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
It's too many variables for something to happen by accident that if you're not concentrating on one thing specifically. Like you've had St. James on, right?
Oh yeah,
St. James, incredible. So I haven't seen him do a set in probably like 2 years, but I saw him at Laugh Factory last night, about 230 people, and it was really beautiful because I seen him like 2 years ago. He was good then, but now I saw what he was working on, like during this time, and he changed the way he dressed. He was very clean cut. There's something about appearance that he just figured out how to show it off to match his persona that he's doing on stage. And then when he was on stage, he felt otherworldly. Kids call it aura.
Wow, very in touch with the culture.
Yes. But that's what he did. Like he knew this is what he was working on. He's like, I want to find my thing, and this is how it came out of.
Yeah.
And by the time he was like doing his thing, everyone was just on board from like the get go, and he can kind of do whatever he pleased, and all the crowd was into it because they're like, I get this guy. I'm invested in this guy because he captivated all these little things. And I was like noticing all these little things for like what was making him really good. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It's really cool to see those little things he was doing.
Because I feel, well, as a comic, you appreciate it differently. I think a lot of comedy is selling an audience, and it's like hypnotic in a sense, and it's getting people into you as a person. Like, it's so much more that than you realize. And that's probably something you can only truly even master once you've had a couple of years of experience, because that's like next level. Like, first you're just writing jokes.
Yeah.
But then you get to a point where now you've written jokes for so long, you presented them to people for so long. Now you can focus on what you're actually doing and how you conduct yourself. And that makes such a difference. Yeah. Because I think that's it. Like, to me, that's more, I think that's it with other stage acts. But I think with comedy, it's more based on really just raw whatever you got, because with music I have a filter. I can present myself to you through music, so I have almost like to me I feel safer, whereas like a comedian, it's just dead silence and a microphone, and that, you got no template, no nothing. You just go up there and you go, and that is, I think, there's so much more freedom there, but it's also, that's what makes it's the risk that creates reward. It goes hand in hand.
It's just a language, though. Like, think of each joke as a letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
Each joke you learn how to write. You learn A, B, C. You learn your vowels, and then you start to form sentences, and then you start to form paragraphs. And now you could talk a whole essay, which is an hour.
And it goes the same thing with writing music. Like, people would, like, if I did like a freestyle, people, oh my God. But to me, I feel like I'm doing something elementary. Like, I think my freestyles kind of suck.
Yes.
Like, when I like them, but I'm thinking like, oh, that's not as good as anything I've ever written.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't get any time to make it good, but it blows people away because they're thinking, how could you do this? And in my mind, it's just because my brain is just tuned to that. That's just what I would do. Like, if I was thinking for a rhyme for Howie Mandel, I'd be like, yo, they was wondering how, they saying now we can't tell. Y'all can't touch me. I'm like, Howie Mandel. And it just comes right out of my brain.
Yeah.
But like, people go, wow. So I think it's the same exact thing.
Yeah. And like, even like the way you talk, it's like there's a rhythm to it.
And you mean like the rap voice thing?
Oh, even right now, I can hear the rhythm, like how you speak to it.
And I would say that just comes from talking so much.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same principle, right? Like, if you that's why in my mind, I have a goal of 4,000 podcasts. That's the goal. I think, right. And I even like to think about it in like levels just to make it fun for myself. So every time I do 40 episodes, that's one level. And when I reach 4,000, that's level 100. I'll be a level 100 podcaster. But it's because I was applying the idea of a 10,000 hours. So if every podcast is, we'll just say on average 2.5 hours, just on average, then maybe we get to the point where we're at 10,000 hours at 4,000 episodes. And it's just a random number. But to me, it's like, that's the principle, is that I'm just somewhere. This is the beginning, technically. If we're going to 4,000, this is still, you look back at episode like 260 and you're like, whoa, that was actually just the beginning. Because that's how I feel when I look back 100 episodes ago now. I'm like, oh, that was kind of the beginning to get me where I'm at now. And that principle all the time, I think it teaches you so much about life to think about things that way. Like, you're always building something towards something else, because it does make you better. And it does, like, I think if I were to do public speaking, all of these hours of talking have done so much for me. Now I'm not as scared if I were to go up there, because I feel like, oh, well, this is no different than any other time I've been in front of a microphone.
Also, 10,000 hours, that's only true if you're doing intentional practice.
Yeah.
I think people forget about that.
So meaning, as opposed to what? Like, as opposed to just actually doing it?
Yeah. I mean, you're doing it for the sake of doing it to like grow confidence. But after that, if you get enough confidence, it's like, if you're not being intentional with a set goal in front of what you're trying to do for every podcast or every activity for what you're trying to build, it's gonna shortchange. You're gonna plateau.
Huh, I never thought about it that way. That's interesting. 10,000 hours of practice.
Intentional
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is practice. This isn't actually the thing.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
that would be all the times I'm on the phone for 4 hours. Then. That's what that would be.
We'll look at the NBA. The NBA game is only 48 minutes.
Yeah.
So what can you do in 48 minutes? You can't have the ball all the time. You have to learn how to pass. There's literally, what's his name? Tyrese Maxwell from the 76ers. All he ever practices during his short game is just floaters.
And some people don't even really need to practice too much. Like
I disagree completely.
You don't think so? Or you think they do need to practice?
I think, yes, everyone needs to. You need to be really good at one thing, and you have to be an expert in one thing and really good at a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxwell, he has the floater game. You get within like 10 feet of the basket, he's going to score on you. It doesn't matter. LeBron James, he has his post game. Hakeem Olajuwon, post game. LeBron James is actually a fucking savant. People don't realize how smart he is because he knows how to pass. He knows how to shoot. He knows how to control the flow of the game. Chris Paul was really good at that. People who just are they know how to like control the time. That's what made Chris Paul deadly. Yeah, he had a skill set, but he's not the tallest guy, not the best defender. He's slower now, even in his old age, but people still had him because he knew how to control the time of the game.
Right. And he's good at all these other things, but that's his specialty.
That's his specialty. Yeah. He knows how to use all 24 seconds. He knows how to make sure the other team only uses 8 seconds. Oh, yeah. To control the time, that what makes you last a long time.
Yeah.
So what you have like a plan for what you want to get out of like today? Because I know we just met for the first time, but there's like a skill you're working on right now.
If I were to pinpoint it, like I said, I mean, I really think of it broadly. So I would think of it like this is, I mean, as you say that, the way I would think about everything is it's all just practice in a sense. Like, I mean, I would even think about this as practice. I mean, because it's not like there's an end goal. It's not like I'm trying to achieve anything in particular. I mean, and again, it's that mentality that I think makes it what it is. I think that's what makes it so open-ended. But I would say if I had to pick something, it would probably be just general. I don't know. I think that what's so interesting about just observing how things work is I'll just see that every single connection I make seems to just connect to each other and blossom. So every time I film any episode, that's always kind of what I'm thinking. Is I'm thinking like, oh, I wonder how this plays into everything in the future and overall. And just because like sometimes it plays out in ways you don't even expect. So to me, it's just building that infinite world of connections. I mean, I'm at the point now where I've done this for 100 and I don't know. It was 88 when I started, or no, 95, 90, let's say 100 when I started doing them here. So I've done about 165 here. And I've had a couple people come back, but we'll just say it's like 130 people, 120 people I met. And again, if that's just the beginning, I'm always just thinking like, this is like something that spirals out upward. And so that's kind of the goal. I'm never have. I know that's a.
This is the greatest. This is the greatest non-answer I've ever heard.
Yeah, I know it's a very shitty answer because it's very hard to say like what is my actual goal because I just don't think I think of it in a concrete way. My mind is like
what you
artsy.
Just said is I'm here to build connections. That's all you said right there.
Build connections, yeah. But what I mean though is I don't really think of connections as something where it's like, oh, now I know this person, now I can get something from it. I just think like you don't even know what the connections mean. Like sometimes you'll find out that somebody else found out about somebody because of something you did. And so to me, it's believing in that. It's why I hate deleting anything. Like I always have to keep everything because you don't know what a connection means. So I think I approach everything that way where it's like, I don't know what I'm going to get from this experience. I don't even have any clue.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what makes it what it is. So to me, that's why I say build connections. Because if I want to give you a real answer, that's what I'll say. But really, it's just like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you got to let freestyle sometimes in life. You got to not have sometimes you don't want a pinpointed goal. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you want to get better at something. But sometimes you just want to riff. And that's where you can find something too. So, I think it's doing both. Like, every now and then I'll have a real goal. Like if it's somebody who I'm like if I started getting really high profile guests, no offense.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate being here on the podcast, by the way. You hear that, 60 viewers?
But I'm saying
I'm the top notch. I'm the top brass here.
Imagine you're John Cena. Yeah. Okay, well now maybe I'm going to like come up with questions.
Yeah.
And
so here's
like,
what you don't realize. I am John Cena.
Fucking take off your mask.
No,
you grow 2 times in size.
I'm the real deal. You don't know this.
Dude,
I'm John Adams. What he always say is that I may be nothing right now, but tomorrow I could be everything. He was the vice president to George Washington.
You're John Adams?
Absolutely.
Well, shit, dude. Can we restart? I didn't know.
I like how you just treated me like some novelty. It's like, oh, come on, podcast, Dan.
You know what I mean?
Fucking asshole.
Because like most of the time, I'm not preparing for these like crazy because I don't think that's what I should do. But if it's like I had hypnotist Chris Jones, he's on like America's Got Talent. Yeah. If it's like somebody like him, and there's like a plethora of things I can go find of interviews of his and this and that, I'm like, okay, the responsible thing for me to do is to probably look him up and do a little bit of research. Like if I've seen the horror story of like people who've written books on their podcast.
Yeah.
So like if you've recently dropped a special, I probably would watch your special. Like I try to do things like this where it's like you're saving yourself from failure.
What did you learn about me before this? I'm curious.
I learned so much about you. I watched every roast you've ever done. I learned about your lost brother from when you were 2. I learned about that.
I'm like, what?
See, I was making things up. I was going to see if you were going to go with that or not. You did not go with the lost brother, folks. My main information must have been wrong. I must have been on the wrong Instagram.
You can just admit you didn't look it up. It doesn't matter. We're going to be honest here, Ruse.
I mean, what it really is I probably saw a few of your roast battles over time. Because when I came up to you, I had seen your roast battles. That's why I even introduced myself to you in the first place. Because I was familiar with you.
Yeah.
I think I had seen you on roast battle many times.
Yes.
And, I mean... Like, I don't expect people to know the fuck I am. I really don't.
That's why I was trying to get to know you at the beginning. I'm like, okay, you got some holes. You're obviously single.
I'm a holy man. I'm single.
You got that hermit lifestyle going on right now.
Dude, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, I wonder if people can tell.
Have you ever brought a girl here and she didn't say anything?
Yeah. Well, not like in a romantic sense. Just for the podcast.
Okay. All right, dude.
But that's what I'm always thinking.
This is like kind of what my place looked like before I met my girlfriend. Oh, she hated my place. She says, I'm cleaning this up now.
Yeah. A girl in her right mind would definitely make fun of me. It's very easy to. I mean, it's actually kind of interesting how my dirtiness works. On a few episodes ago, Brandon Taylor, he was looking around this room, and the way he observed it, I really appreciate it. He said, like, it's messy, but it's messy in a way where there's something everywhere you look. And I actually really appreciated that. Because it's like, if you're the guest and you're looking around, it is kind of messy in this way where you can just keep looking at shit sitting all over the place. And that kind of makes it good. Yeah. Kind of makes me not want to clean. Yes. I'm kind of like, I should put more knicknacks around the room for the guests to look at.
You have such the ADHD guy brain, which, like, there is utility in everywhere you look.
There's scissors over there in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. That's to cut your wrist.
just in case it's all over and I'm done.
Yeah. Just to feel alive again, you know?
Yeah. Try to connect to nature.
Yeah, get closer to those mushrooms around.
But dude, there's it's a guy room for sure. Yeah. And I mean, I try to escape that, but it's really hard. That's what my goal has been for the last week. You want to know my real goal outside of this podcast? It's to do my fucking laundry, to clean my floor, to bathe my dog, to clean my shelves, to like make it look presentable in here. Because that's just, I always do like 2 things at once and then just go do something else.
Yes.
And that's the problem. I need to spend a day cleaning and then it'll be done. But instead I do 2 things at once and I'm like, all right, well, I'm done now. I did my things for the day.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you my first impression when I walked in here.
Give it to me.
I'm like, oh, he's a creative.
I appreciate that because I actually think that my surroundings are reflective of my mind.
I agree. No, I think this is very much someone who loves like going from idea to idea, and then it for some reason, like you talk about, it's like all of it comes together in the end. You don't know how, but it does.
Yes.
And then you got your thing working on. You're obviously making your business and everything. So. Yeah, no, this is very much a creative mindset.
Thank you for justifying my messiness.
No, like I relate to a lot in this aspect because mine used to be like this, but I didn't know for a lot. Like my mind, I really know how to dial in on something and like ignore everything else.
I think that's what makes me a good writer.
Yes.
Is exactly that.
Yes.
Because I channel that to writing.
Exactly. So when you saw this, I'm like, oh, this kind of reminds me of like me when I was 20 years old. I'm 29, but yeah, just 9 years ago.
Yeah. And hopefully I can stay a kid forever, guys. Hopefully I can keep this mess.
You don't want to be a kid forever, You
know what I like? I like this quote. You got to stay childlike, not childish. I really like that quote. And then you have to stay in touch with that childlike wonder, but you have to let go of that childish nature.
I think of it now as you got to be an adult to protect your inner child.
Yes, absolutely. You have to have the responsibility to do so. Yeah.
Because like I'm 20 now. I'm in a relationship. It's a long-term relationship. So I am thinking about my life with this lady, and my family's getting older now. So I think about, okay, my mom might need a hip like in probably 10 years, and whatever. So it's just like that with my day job. I'm an engineer. With stand-up, I need to get everything is more intentional, and that's why I bring this up to you. And that's why I say this to you, with being intentional with everything you're doing.
Could you pop that door for the kitty cat?
Yeah.
There you go. So you say that because?
I say that because all this is going to go away.
Okay.
Yes.
Meaning?
It means your time's going to get smaller and smaller. So you got to make everything more valuable.
Oh,
and
I know.
Now that you have the luxury of time right now, it's like, oh, I should really be concentrating on this stuff so I don't have to worry about it later, because you're taking this for granted right now.
Yeah.
And like it's all gonna go away in maybe 5 years if you ever like finding someone or something else just happen. Even if you get sick, I don't know if you know James Couture. He got cancer. He's like going through chemotherapy right now. He's a comic in the scene. Yeah, another comedian. So it's just like no one saw that coming. He just thought he had the flu over break, and then it's like, oh no, it wouldn't go away. Mm-hmm. So you don't know this stuff.
Right.
So it's just like, that's why I'm talking about being more intentional, but it's hard to know that when I was 20, because you think it's going to be like this, but then it's just slowly, you don't notice it. I never noticed it, but it's like, oh, my time's slowly going more and more away to things I want to do, but it's just like, now I got to be intentional, be more present with this, with that. I got to get my work in. Like everything is more scheduled now, and I have that ADHD brain. I love this messiness. It makes me comfortable, but I don't get to do that because my life would be in shambles and everything would topple over like a Jenga tower if it did.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm telling you this.
You're right.
Yeah.
The worst part of what you're saying is that you're right.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, especially if I achieve the success I want, I mean, like even career-wise, intentionality becomes, I mean, that's something I've noticed more and more doing more of these is you have to be intentional about, like, I have a list of people like return episodes, and I've just noticed like I can't even have everybody back on that I'd want to have back. I have to pick people. I have to pick and choose who I'm willing to bring back on, because now I'm at the point where I've had so many people I like. So I have to pick which ones are the best or which ones I want to talk to the most. Yeah. And that actually kind of hurts because I'm just a list of my friends. That's what it is. And so it's stuff like that where you just like feeling your time kind of tighten more and more. Feeling it's like now you're in the position you want to be in, and it's good. Yeah. But it's actually that makes the choices feel lesser because you are in a position now. You actually have established yourself somewhere, and things are different than they used to be.
You have more responsibility.
More responsibility. And if you look back those years before, you can see the freedom in it. I mean, to me, that's something that loss will teach you too. You ever lose a loved one, you ever get a big breakup, you realize all of the opportunity that was right in front of you, and it's just not there now. It's just gone. It's just not. It was there, and it's not there. There's nothing's gonna bring it back. It's gone. And I think that type of thing can teach you a lot about intentionality, because if you approach things with that idea in mind, oh, this could just go away. I mean, but it's. Yeah. Now you're telling me this probably because it's something you're experiencing yourself too, I sense. Yes? Like, is this something that you have gone through and just in life, or no? I mean, like, why do you apply this? What is it that happened to you that makes this apply to me? Like, what was your experience with this?
For me, like, I noticed where you are, because I'm 29, I'm not that much older than you, but it's just like, okay, I see your life, and it reminds me of like me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Not that we're that much different, but it's just like, oh shit, a lot's changed in the past couple years.
Yeah.
So I'm just like noticing that, and I'm like at the point in stand-up which I'm gonna be big.
Yeah.
I know it. You're not aware of it right now, but I know that in my mind. A shout out, all right? Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll have real questions for you next time.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's not just ego talking. It's just like, it's the habits. It's the intentional practice. So like there's things happening, which I'm doing with stand-up, which I'm really happy about. And I'm noticing the effects on it. My friends are noticing. That's why good friends is important, because not just so they support you, but they help you they help you grow more and have that really good center of friends. And now I got this good thing at in my house life with my girlfriend, and now like that's doing good. So I'm getting more empathy for communicating with another person. I'm growing my craft better, and now I just need to work on the marketing, and that's slowly starting to grow up.
Yeah.
So all these three things, I see it, and no one else sees it, and it's kind of nice for me because it's like my own little thing, but like it's getting there. It's slowly
and
building.
You see the difference.
I see the difference.
Yeah.
So that's just like and I think people should have that intentionality with what they want to do in life, because it's gonna go away very quickly and you never know it, especially your health. That's why you should wear some fucking sunscreen
and get running shoes.
Yeah, get running shoes.
Yeah. I mean, I really should get some sunscreen, and I need to go to the gym more because I have little weights, but I don't go to the gym as much as like I love this. I love working out. I love going to the gym. I just don't. I fall into the habit of not doing it. And,
it's hard. It's hard making time for it. So
but I think like it goes right back to that, because it's making it an intention to do it. You have to intentionalize it and visualize it and actualize it. It has to be real. You can't just have the idea. We all have ideas.
Yes.
Ideas are worth nothing.
Yes.
You know, it's actually executing upon those ideas and doing things.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that if there's any truth in like karma and the world being reflective of your mind, it's that, you know, the ideas you put in your head and what you choose to believe really does kind of become your reality over time. You know, like if you believe you're the best and you tell yourself you're the best, you can become the best.
Yes.
But if you don't tell yourself that, I don't think you're ever going to become that.
I agree. So you have to have that mentality still in your mind the entire time through.
Yeah.
So even though like I am where I am right now, I know something's good's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know it because I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. And that's why, you know, it's weird. I mean, I'm sure that you have the same feeling as me, where maybe because this is how I kind of like to describe it in my artsy fartsy mind, is it's like there's like a wave beneath you, and you can feel, you can like know there's a wave. You don't see it anywhere.
Yes.
It doesn't exist anywhere, but you like feel the movement of it. You know what I mean? Like when you communicate with people, you can feel it, but it's like something beyond you. Because like I get that sense, like one of the things that made me feel that way, it was probably after I'd done probably 30, 40 episodes with comics, and I go to some open mic. There's two experiences that I had. One, I was at an open mic and a guy says, "Whoa, Big Ruse." And just the fact that somebody called me Big Ruse. Like, dude. I'm just thinking, I don't know who this guy is. He called me Big Ruse. Yeah. That means I'm doing something. And the second one was, I go to an open mic and I want to say I'm just sitting there, and like I don't greet anybody. I'm just sitting there observing the open mic, and like 10 people walk up to me, like 12 people walk up to me, and I'm thinking, oh, like this must be, because I was considering not even going. Yeah. And then I go and all these people approach me, and I'm thinking, oh, this is the result of my actions. Like this is what's happening.
Yeah.
But when you're not connected to it and you don't see it and realize, and it just feels like a wave that builds, because I mean it becomes beyond you, and I can only imagine how that works the more and more we go on, right? You put yourself 2 years away from yourself now.
Yeah.
Who knows how that works?
Well, it's like I think it's this Japanese tree. I think it's called the oiksha tree.
Ooh.
But like it's like a type of bamboo tree, and it takes 18 years to grow. So, but in the first 10 years, it'll maybe like move up like a little, like a centimeter. Then probably after, the 16-year marks, it might be like maybe, 8 centimeters. But what you don't know is that the bamboo tree is like planting all of its roots. And its roots,
you don't see any of it.
Exactly. And the roots need to go at least like 60 feet down into the earth. And then finally, when it hits like the 17 and a half year, like it starts to shoot up in a day. and it shoots at 12 feet. And then by the time it hits 18 years, it's already up 50 feet.
Wow.
So that's...
And that whole time it was building roots.
Yep, and nobody sees that.
Yeah.
Nobody sees it. Nobody thinks of like gradual change or like the habits people are putting in place. And like that goes back to like my engineering mind. It's like I see so many patterns. So I give you that advice just because like, oh, I see what you're doing right now, and there's something to accelerate that.
Yeah, intentionality.
Yes, intentionality will accelerate wherever you want to go.
You're right. You're right. I know you're right.
Yes.
Because the thing is too is I'm already in like the perfect position. I'm just a terrible business person. That's really.
What do you mean?
I just don't know how to market. I just don't give a fuck about any of those things. I don't care. Like I want people to know what I'm doing, but I'd rather just create good things. I have no idea how to get hired for something or how to get booked. I have no fucking clue. I know that you're supposed to book things yourself to maybe get booked on other things. I know that, but I have no idea how to, like, I'm bad at cold call emailing people like, hey, I'd love for you to book me. I'm bad at having a presentable thing to, like, I don't have a clip or anything to fucking send you. I'm bad at, what the fuck else? I need ads for this show, and I know I can get ads. I know it's possible. I just don't think I know where to go or what to do, but I know it's possible because there's no way it's not. I mean, if there's any podcast in Chicago that's advertisable, like especially if it's a comedy related thing that wants to advertise, I don't think there's anything like even close to what I'm doing that's like consistent, that's like a comedy podcast. You can count on it being there. Yeah. Because that's what you want to offer to an advertiser is I'm doing 10 episodes a month. I'm in front of people's faces all the time.
You say sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsorship, okay. That type of thing. Or even for a show, right? Like these are things I'm just terrible at seeking out. I can kind of do it, but I just don't know what to do. And those are the things that are going to take this, or like great guests where it's like, and again, no offense, but I'm talking like fucking again, like a John Cena, like one where it's like unbelievable. Like he had fucking who on?
Yes.
And that's, I believe me, I email way more people than you guys would believe. I sent a lot of Instagram messages, but it's just like, you know, and every now and then I'll get one where I'm like, oh, but I'm waiting for the one where it blows even me away. Like I've had some where I'm kind of shocked, but I'm waiting for the moment where it's like fucking John Stamos is in here and I think I've made it because, and I don't think I'm that far away from that. I just don't know how to do. I think if I had an agent or somebody who knew how the fuck to present what I'm doing, they would be able to market it. I just don't know how to market it in I can use ChatGPT and try and help me, and I can try to do all these things. And if I had more money, I think I would just pay an agent to try to help me do it, because I would say like, hey, this is my list of dream guests. Maybe we could workshop this, and I would do stuff like that. I just don't know. And I don't know, like to me, that's the thing that holds me back from that next caliber. Is I'm really good at ideation. I'm really good at creating. I'm good at creating something good and genuine and organic, but I'm not good at turning it into something commercial. I think a lot of great directors are like that. Yeah, great filmmakers, great musicians.
If you're good at art, then like you're usually if you're a really great artist, you're usually a terrible businessman.
It's actually amazing. I even know how to post on Instagram as well as I do. Like the fact that I'm so consistent with posting is crazy, because I hate doing it and it drives me insane, and I wish I didn't have to. But you know, I'm just because I don't mind it, but it's just the fact that you have to engage with your phone. To me, I'm not being artistic right now. I'm just fucking doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. I wish I had a guy that did this while I made the things. Yeah. But that's, you know, because I think that's just my brain. I'm so bad at
when you talk
pitching
about
myself.
When you talk about doing something just for the sake of doing it, that's where that applies.
Yeah, because that's my whole mentality.
Yes. Yeah. But other things you really want to do, that's when you apply intentionality.
And where does this go long term, and what does this mean? Yeah. And how does this feed back into everything else?
You just got to know generally how it works.
And intentionality
you can get someone.
What's important about intentionality when it's applied to that, I suppose, is valuation and distinction between other things, right? Like, what do you value? Because you can be intentional and make all the wrong choices. So it's about aiming,
your principles. Yeah. Who are you?
I think that's where I lack. I think that's what I'm saying is I do all the right things, but I could aim higher is what I'm trying to say. Like there's a way for me to aim higher, and I know this. And when you say all these things to me, it resonates with me because I know. Yes. It's like this is the therapy session I've been waiting for. Yeah. Because I know you're right. But I just don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, how the fuck do I do that? Because I know it's possible. My newest idea is to do a Ruse rodeo, the open mic, to do a monthly open mic.
Well, can we hold this thought? I really need to pee.
Go for it. I appreciate you saying this to me too, because have you ever read this book, The Four Agreements?
No.
So I was just reading it, or I'm in the middle of reading it. It's a very short book, but I've seen it recommended. It's kind of just like a self-helpy book, but I think it's based on the Toltec, like I think Toltec. I think it's how you pronounce it. Toltec.
Yeah, the people with the Mayans, the Mexican indigenous.
Yes, exactly. And so it's the way their philosophy, and it's based on that. And it's just 4 different ideas. It's kind of saying like at the very beginning it says we were like domesticated, we're trained. I think it's the cat. You want to pop that door for her again? She's trying to get back in now. Oh my God, this woman. There she is. But it's how we're all domesticated from the beginning, and we're all kind of trained to believe in different dreams that are separate from the real dream. And that's how it presents all that. But the first agreement, the most important agreement, is be impeccable with your word. That's the one. And it's funny because as I was reading it, I think that's kind of exactly what you're saying is like what you're saying. I mean, it's saying like being intentional with what you say and aiming what you say in the right way determines your reality is what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
And I get the sense that and I think this is something people can relate to. It's almost like in the morning when you wake up, there's infinite possibility. And then throughout the day, you can just feel that infinite possibility dwindle away. And that's just something that begins in a cycle. It just happens every single day. And that's something that just hits me more and more, especially when I waste my time.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like, I suppose all these things you're saying to me resonate with me. And I feel like I'm hearing this for a reason is why I say this to you. I feel like my mind is already trying to orient itself that way. And then you telling me this is like, I'm getting slapped in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got me. I didn't even know you were going to get me. Usually I get other people. Usually they're like, wow, this was like therapy. You got me.
Yeah.
Most people don't get me.
Yeah.
The only other person that's been that reminds me so much of a therapist as a guest.
Yeah.
She's going crazy right now. I'm actually kind of surprised.
She likes me.
She's going wild.
She feels the interview.
I think so. But was Aaron Chase. That guy, I don't know if you know him.
I know Aaron, yeah.
He's very good at asking questions. And I would say the same about you. You guys are both very good at asking the right questions.
Well, I was talking to you, so I was just
trying to take your microphone.
You want to speak, cutie? Hello.
There you go.
Well, I was gauging you like the first hour. I'm like, okay, this is what you're talking about. You just see the patterns and everything. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. Well, I always want the best for someone. But at the end of the day, if I'm ever gonna talk with someone for a bit, like I want to get to know them. Yeah. So that's like how they think. If you noticed earlier, I'm just poking around to see how you really thought. Because you were just talking. I'm like, all right, let's get through this. Let's actually see how you think.
Yes, but I appreciate that you do that because a lot of people don't do that. That's what I mean.
Well, a lot of people are just cordial, but I don't got time.
Yeah.
let's just get to the point.
Well, and it's like what I was saying earlier about curiosity. I think you can learn so much from other people. Like I think if you enter a conversation where you're both like I said about being impeccable with your word, like in my mind, I'm oriented towards like truth. Like it's aiming that way and just not having any particular ideas or anything beforehand, and then just wondering what the other person thinks and seeing if you can get somewhere with them or learn something with them.
Well, there's truth, and there's also just doing something just to do it.
Yeah.
So that's just saying, people can talk a lot, but are they real? Do you really get heard?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Or
like, what is the point of what you're like? Is there an ultimate point of saying what you're saying?
And I try to be very succinct with my words because I did like speech and debate for like all of high school.
Oh, wow.
So like Obama was like a big guy we looked up to because that's when he was like president, and we would just like mimic or like imitate how is this guy speaking? Why is it working? Why is people so captivated? And he took his time with his words, but every word mattered.
Yep, yeah.
So you really hear filler words that are not just like and it's just this run-on sentence. It's it's someone being intentional with how they speak,
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I was kind of like noticing everything going on. I was just taking my time. So I'm like, okay.
I think you could even argue that intentionality is humanity.
Yeah.
To bring it full circle, what is the answer to what makes you human that separates you from an animal?
Yeah.
I would say it's intentionality.
Well, it's just like at the end of the day, you just want to know what someone wants.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out what you wanted at the beginning. So that's why I'm asking more and more questions. So.
And then he found out I wanted literally nothing.
At the beginning, I'm like, oh, he just wants to fill time for this podcast. So I'm like, all right, cool.
That would be an impression that people would get, I'm sure, yeah. Just I'm filling time. But sometimes I just feel like, because I just don't even know what I'm trying to do, I feel like the whole thing's like a mystery. So I'm trying to but I feel like other people might not know that. So I'll just be rambling, and I'm really hoping they give me something, and they don't. Yeah. And that's where it's like, you're asking me questions. That's good. Sometimes I'll be like, I think that they think it's going to be like an interview, and so they see me talking so much, and they're like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Like, they don't even know what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you for being my partner in crime today. You did great things. I think we did good today. I
thought we had an honest conversation.
I learned about you. I didn't know that. Well, for one, the debate thing is interesting. I feel like I want to ask a couple questions about that before we go away from that.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you just like arguing? Is that how you end up debating, or what is it that made you want to do that?
I had a speech impediment.
Oh, so to help your speech impediment?
Yeah, and I when you don't know how to talk properly, you become very sad and very depressed, because everyone has wants and desires, and if you're not able to communicate those to someone, it could be as simple as asking a girl that you really like, who you find attractive, but you can't go up and talk to her because you're fumbling your words, or you don't know what to say. So that was kind of like, there was that one girl, I bring that up because it's like a girl I liked in like freshman year of high school that I went up to, and mustering up all the courage, trying to get my swag going on. And when I talked to her, it was just nothing would come out, and I couldn't find any strings or conversation. And that was the bombing. And she just saw me as this weirdo for like the rest of high school. And I'm like, well, I got to change this.
Yeah.
I can't stay this way because I'm miserable. I have to learn how to talk and learn how to speak. And that was like a big point in like my life. I ended up like having a girlfriend and the speech and debate team from that. But I was just like, oh yeah, people don't know. Everyone has a want and a need. But if you don't know how to communicate that, then it's just like you're going to let people take your dreams away.
Yeah.
Or you're going to let everything slip by you.
If you don't take initiative.
Yes, take initiative.
Yeah.
Because then someone who's used to taking initiatives is just going to keep taking it. You kind of got to tell them to stop a little bit, saying, oh, I want this. But the scary part is you have to know how to execute after that.
Yeah.
But then you have to fail a little bit. And then that's why nobody really does what they really want to do. I mean, some people do, but some people just mainly go through like the motions of it all. Mm-hmm. So,
do you think that aspects of those different things you did, like debate and engineering, do you think those feed into comedy?
Yes and no. Engineering hurt my social skills a lot, but it also helped me know how to think and like really be confident in my ability to figure out and solve problems. And engineering school, it changes your brain in the sense, and you learn to like see what is the problem. Then you see, what do I have with me? What can I use? And then you start to work out the solution. So that's literally like how my brain works. I'm like, okay, this is happening right now. Well, what do I know that I have that can apply to this? Then how do I sweeten that to where I want to go? So that's kind of how my brain works, especially, and how it works with stand-up is like, now I'm a little more into it. And like, it's hard to do this with open mics, because open mics, you're just trying out shit. But for an actual crowd, you're like, all right, where is this crowd right now? How do I bring them to where I want to go? And you just kind of you stop taking it personal after a while. You just start to see it as, all right, here's the problem. Here's what they're laughing at. Here's what they're not laughing at. Well, let's address it. Let's get it out in the open. Let's be honest about this. And then that's when things start to happen.
Yeah.
That's when they start to see you as a human being.
Because you're in the moment, like addressing the room.
Yeah, you're addressing the room, and you're there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's asking me a question. Oh shit, I gotta be alert at this." And then they gotta use their brains.
Yeah.
And then when people start to use their brains, then that means they have to be engaged with it all. So that's why people hate crowd work, because they're like, oh, well, sitting in the front of a show in the front row for people does crowd work on them, they want to be involved because like, oh, I got to think, I'm a shy person. I don't want to think. I came here to like relax. I got to be quick on my feet. And that's why people kind of admire performers of any level, because they can just be on their feet and think like a regular person in front of all these people.
Yeah. You ever see Jim Carrey say like, I think it was in the Andy Kaufman documentary. It wasn't the movie that he did, but the one about it. And he said in that documentary that he used to wonder, he used to go to bed every night and think, what is it that people want to see on stage? Like, what do they want from me on stage? And his realization was that they want to see the person with no restraint, with no worries, with nothing holding them back.
Yes.
Like, because that's what they want to be.
Yes.
So and I think they're living vicariously through the performer.
Yes.
I think that's what happens. I think that's why a great performer, like, I think that's Jim Carrey, like a Robin Williams, like these really physical comedians. I think that's what makes them feel so free to watch, is because they seem so free, because they are, and we all want that.
Yes, yeah. It's that living vicarious through someone, and honestly, sometimes you just want to watch something different. Yeah, like Stephen Wright was such a phenomenon.
Oh, he's awesome,
because he's so weird. He is such a weird dude.
Yeah.
But when you see his act,
it almost seems like it's too, like, it almost seems amazing that no one else has done what he does.
Yeah.
Because it seems kind of simple.
It is.
In its execution. Yeah.
So simple. But he's mastered the craft, which he knows how to just command it. And he's so committed to that. And there's some comics in the scene which you're like, okay, this is what he does. And it didn't work when they first came to Chicago, but now it's like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna name names for that part, but it's just like, oh yeah, now it's starting to work.
Well, that's why you can't ever write people off. That's why you really can't write people off. You can if it's like a lunatic.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people where you want to, in your mind, be like, I just don't get it. But you give them a year, you give them 2 years, you give them 3 years, you just don't know.
Well, as a musician, you know why music is bad.
What do you mean?
Like, if you go into, if someone's having like a show at I don't know, maybe it's Shuba's, and you walk in, it's a brand new band, you listen to it a little bit, you're like, hey man, I'm just not feeling it. And then you walk out. Like my friend did that, but he's a trained musician, and he knows when someone says, oh, I'm not feeling it, he knows why they're not feeling it.
Right.
Because this guy's missing fucking notes.
Yeah, yeah.
And he knows he's missing notes. Like, I couldn't pick that up because I don't have that ear.
I see.
But he knows why the music is bad.
Yeah.
And for a stand-up, you know why something's not working on stage, or what he did wrong, or what he's not addressing, or what's wrong with the joke.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I mean, I think I have, yeah. I wonder how many other people share this perspective, because I think comedy podcasts and all these things have become so popular. So, like, I feel like there is, like, I think people get it more than they used to, like how it works to be a comedian. And like, that's why when comedians like do heckler takedowns, most of the time an audience is on, like almost always, the audience is not going to go against the comedian. Like never. Like a modern audience knows how that works because they've seen it a million times.
No.
Well, most. Well, there's always going to be that guy. That guy never goes away. We all got one of them. That's one of our friends, a contact on our phones, who will be the heckler at a comedy show. I have a coworker that's like that, who's like, I've taken him to a show, and I'm like, oh no. Like, oh no. I didn't know. Because I was worried I would be like associated. Like they would think, oh, why did he bring the heckler?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you guys know he's my coworker. We're friends.
My friend said there's always like 3 type of hecklers. There's one who's just plainly aggressive, who wants attention. There's one who's trying to be supportive for the show.
Okay.
So, yeah, you got it. And everything. Those are actually the worst type of hecklers, because you can't.
Because they think that they're helping.
They think that they're helping, and it's hard to be mad at them. You can't just say, "You're a fucking shut up, bitch."
You gotta take them down lightly. That's what you gotta do. Yes. You gotta like give them some jabs, but you can't be mean.
Because when people are positive, it's like toxic positivity. You're like, but he's being nice. Why did you call her a bitch? And
I guess to an untrained audience.
Exactly. So you got to point out what they're exactly doing.
Well, and as the comic, I think like I've seen people make the mistake, because this is why I say like the meta understanding thing. I wonder how many other people can kind of see the mechanism at work. Because I remember one time, it was before, I won't say which comic it was, but it's like a touring comic. And so I saw him in Detroit, and I remember there was a guy in the audience who it wasn't in a big room. It's like 25, 30 people. Not very many people in the room. And this guy's like just kind of, he's not really even talking. He's kind of like, ha, da 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 da.
The comic on stage, or
no, like the guy laughing. He's just kind of like if a comic says a joke, he's like he just says like a couple words.
Yeah,
like it's not like he's talking, but he is like interjecting. And so you should address it, but you can't go that hard on it.
Yeah,
but I remember the comic. He maybe had a bad day or whatever it was, but he kind of went a little hard on it. He was like, "Hey man, just so you know, like it's a comedy show. Like you're not supposed to talk while I'm talking." Like he didn't really make a joke out of it. He did, but he didn't. It was one of those things where it's kind of awkward for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think like it's very easy to fail that as the comic too. Like to just you could have handled that better. Like all you had to do was just not go so hard on him.
Yes.
Because he didn't know. He's just an idiot. He didn't know. He's just with his friends. He's drinking. He's having a good time. He's fucking comedy show. And he doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea of like on stage, you can't break your persona.
Yes, and that's probably you know what? That's probably what happened.
He
and
broke his persona.
Killed the magic.
So then, he kills the magic, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's just an asshole."
Even if you like him, you're just subconsciously you're like, "Oh."
You could be laughing the entire way, but if he blows up at someone, then it's like, "Oh no, he's not." He just shatters all that.
I'm sure you saw that Natalie Cuomo thing. Poor girl.
I don't know.
That poor woman. I feel bad for her because, again, I have empathy for these comics who go through these things, but she did fail. What it was she was on stage, and I think she has a bit where she'll ask a guy a question, and then she kind of like teases the guy as if he's gay. Like that's kind of the bit. But the guy who she was teasing didn't really like that she was teasing him.
Yeah.
So he was like, I think he said to her, "It's not my fault. You don't have any material." I want to say that's what he said to her.
That's a good comeback.
It's a pretty big diss.
Yeah.
That's a diss. Because he's really saying you're relying on me to make your material for you.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he's even familiar with this and he knows her and he knew this was coming and it could have been him because he's in the front row. Who knows the layers to this?
Yeah.
But anyway, she gets mad and she's like, like, I want you to apologize to me. Like, I've been having a great fucking weekend and then you come in and ruin my fucking show. And she's just cursing at him, yelling at him. And it went viral because of how mad she got. And I watched that and I'm like, I get both sides. She probably she was just trying to fucking tease this guy and she didn't really have anything prepared and then he probably was kind of being a dick and she wasn't ready for him to be a dick.
Yeah.
She thought that it was going to be playful and maybe, I don't know, who knows. If I'm having radical empathy, her day could have went any which way.
Yeah.
And so now she's carrying that energy into this. Who knows? Maybe she didn't eat that day. Should have had Snickers.
Yeah.
But it didn't look good on camera. We live in a world now where you fail once, it can be on camera forever. Now, any video she ever makes is, "Oh, you're that girl who freaked out in that heckler." It's just something that people remember her by.
Well,
and it is what it is. And that's, it goes along with people just posting, random open mic clips instead of shows. I think like comics can get known for anything nowadays. Just throw content out there. So I'm sure she's probably a win for her in the end.
Yeah, I mean, any publicity is good publicity in this case, because now probably more people know about her.
She's fairly popular. She's definitely not like she's one of those people that's, I would say, in the process of kind of gaining a lot of acclaim. Yeah, because she's been around for a minute.
Yeah, and honestly, the big thing at least I learned, depends however you do your stand up. Mine. I try to make my stand-up come from like a very honest place, because it's the hardest thing to get started as your style, but once you do it, it makes everything so much easier. To be honest. Yes, to be honest.
Rather than to like a caricature or a character.
Yeah, because then you have to stay in that character. And also you can be yourself more on stage, but when you address like something like Hecklers, then it just makes more sense because you're coming from like an honest human place. Right. Yeah, you could just say, "Oh wow, I didn't expect that to happen," or just like call out the situation. Yeah.
And I think you feel safer when you're actually being honest, because you don't have to like hide behind, "Oh, what's my role? What's my character?"
Well, that's what I'm saying. People just want to know what other people want. That's all they want to know. What's this? Is this guy trying to sleep with me, or is he trying to be my friend? It's as simple as that. Yeah,
I've thought this before. Like, wouldn't life be nice if we were just 100% honest and we just skipped all this bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because it's kind of some fun and like foreplay and pretend. Like, I do think that like when we talk to each other, we don't say what we think, and that's kind of important. You couldn't just say what you think, because if we were 100% honest, I probably wouldn't be so great. Like, this is a debate I've had in my mind. I mean,
before. You have to have a charm. Yeah, you can be. You gotta
lie.
Yeah.
We have to. That's like the thing. You kind of need lying. I mean, there was that Ricky Gervais movie, The Invention of Lying. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
where he's like the first guy who can ever lie.
Yeah,
but that's kind of the question, right? It's like, if you were the first person to ever lie, how does that go, and what do you do, and how valuable is 100% truth, you know, because that's the beginning of the movie, is just everybody being 100% honest.
Well, it's confusing truth with autism, and those are like two very different things.
Autistic people are very honest.
Yeah, but
I would say that's what I love about my Down syndrome friends too. They're so honest.
Yeah,
they're so honest. It's crazy how honest they are.
Yeah, but the thing about human is that when you're really being honest, you feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's an emotion connecting with it, whereas if you just say something, it's like you're being observant. That's not the same as honesty.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I love performing. I don't think I ever feel more honest than if I'm like performing.
Yeah,
I truly, and I think that's that vicarious thing with the audience. I think the audience senses honesty, and I think people sense honesty.
Yeah, well, you hear it.
Yeah,
you hear it in their voice.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear the deepness of my voice right now. Mm-hmm. It's not coming from here. It's coming from my fucking balls, you know?
Right. My soul. Yeah. My soul is in my balls.
Yeah. But that, you just hear it, and like when you do that, then it comes out, and then like even when like you show like your facial expression, there's just something about it. You see it in the eyes, or the eyes like darting around. Like I always look at the audience members when I'm talking to them, because I'm like, okay, he's not paying attention. She's trying to have sex with this guy. This guy's not interested. He's cheating on that girl over there. Do you pick certain
ones, or do you kind of try to scan the whole room?
I look at the whole room before I usually say, hey, just say hi, because that's how I talk like in regular life. I'll like say hi to someone, because I'm like, why not just do that when I go on stand up? Or if like there's something I can rip off from the previous comic, I'll just jump into that immediately. But I look at the whole room. I'm like, all right, just that's who there, that's who there. And then again to try to get into my stuff, because it's just like you're trying to relate to someone. You know, you want to know what's going on, especially if it's a bad crowd. Bad crowd just means they're not feeling comfortable enough with who's on stage. You know.
Yeah,
they want to get anyone can talk to someone, but you got to make them comfortable enough to want to do that and interact, you know.
And I think people undervalue how much power you have to set the stage.
Oh,
no pun intended.
Yeah,
right? Like in any situation. You can do so much by just approaching it differently and having a different energy leading.
Yeah.
Like, I think people put it on the other person, and we both silently blame each other all the time. Like,
yeah.
Why were they so awkward?
Well, that's like incel energy, you know? Because just like, you got to learn how to fucking talk.
Yep.
And like there's parts about that, just setting the stage, just so why like, you know, men admire.
And I think it's easier done than said. I don't even think you can explain how to do it. That's what I would argue.
Yeah, it's a feel. It's an art.
You have to do it.
You got to get a feel for it. Then it's like, all right, I know this happens when like, if I say this, she usually laughs. But if she doesn't, then it gives me a benchmark. It's like, oh, why didn't she laugh?
That's why I think comics have an unfair advantage in that, because they're just so used to doing that on a stage in front of an audience. They've like tuned to their personality.
But there's introverted comics. And
yes, there are.
And it's like, it's so interesting because like they're these really good speakers and hilarious on stage. When you come off stage, it's like, oh no, they don't have that same thing.
They got like 3-word sentences.
Yeah, and like I'm probably more in that boat, which I got to talk to someone for a little bit just to like gauge their vibe. Is like, is this person going to be bad energy? Is it good energy? So it's like it kind of takes a little bit for me to like gauge that. But then once I do, I'm like, okay, we're in a good place. There's a guy who is, oh my gosh, he's the most lovable guy like I've met in my life. His name's Eunice. Shout out Eunice. But there's the myth about Eunice is you know,
Eunice Daher.
Yeah, right? Eunice.
How do you pronounce his last name?
I don't know.
I met him at James Najar's Cozy Corner forever ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do the show. I'd love to show." And it's been like, he's one of those people that's been on the list forever. Every time I hit him up, he's like, "Dude, I'm a little busy, but I got you." He's one of those people who's like been on the list for a hot minute. Yeah. He's gonna be here someday. Yeah.
Eunice,
and his music is really good too. That's what impressed me, is he was funny talented. When I saw him. Like he was the headliner of Cozy Corner, and he was a great headliner. He closed the show with awesome energy. And then I heard his music, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Because usually it's like somebody's like you said, really good at one thing.
Yes.
The music was just as good as the comedy, if you ask me. So, but anyways, about Eunice.
He's magical.
Yeah, a magical man.
And, he came up, I don't want to say all of his lore, but he came up in like a refugee. Like, so he grew up around refugees for like 5 years. So me and my friends have theories about Eunice, which is like, oh yeah, it's because he came around these people. He learned how to like make people like him and make people love him. And now that you see that he's an adult now, it's like when I first met him, I never met him before. I loved him immediately.
Yeah.
He's so warm. He's so nice. And I just felt that. And I hugged him. I just met him and I hugged him. And I'm like I've known him for like years, but he has that warmth about him.
Yeah.
And it's just, when you see someone, there's something very truthful and honest about that. And like, that's his superpower. And he gets a lot of good opportunities. And I want that guy to succeed as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because he just has something about that.
I feel like
him.
those people are rare. You have to hold on to those people.
Yeah.
Like every time you find somebody like that, whether it's an artist, somebody you know, like it doesn't have to be, it could be in the digital world, it could be in the real world. You gotta hold on to those.
Yeah. And
because it's a reminder of what makes you tick. Like if that person makes you feel some way and you feel like that's real, you don't find that everywhere. And I think the older you get, the more and more you realize it's just not, you take it for granted.
Yes.
You think, oh, it's just all over the place. And then you realize like all those real friends you had, or all those people who really stick around. Like I think I have one friend from childhood that's like never ever, like we just always kept in touch. And to me, that's like the realest friend I've ever had. Like, I know if I call him right now. Matter of fact, I owe him a phone call. He called me the other day. I didn't answer. I was busy. But his name's Andrew. He's going to be episode 1000. He agreed to that.
Nice.
If it was going to be 100, and then he chickened out. So I said 1,000. He said, fine.
I'll be ready.
I keep telling him, like, 2 more years, man. 3 more years. So, yeah. But I think, and you need those people so much. It reminds you who you are. And I don't think, and it's people, I think a lot of it is like people who you can tell they don't have ulterior motives. I think that's a big part of it.
Yes.
That reality is the lack of an ulterior motive. Like
Yes.
I don't feel like they want anything else. I don't feel like they're like seeing through me right now. They see something in me.
Yeah.
It's literally just, they're just here. Like they're literally just here.
Yes.
And those people, I think, I think that's what we're like. It's like that childlike wonder. I think we're like that all as kids, and we lose that, and then we become, our brains become solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have solid concrete brains that don't want to do anything anymore. And we see that guy with the plastic brain, and we're like, whoa, he's awesome.
Yeah, there's
To me, Robin Williams is probably one of the biggest role models I've ever seen. Like every time I watch him, it's just his energy is unlike anybody ever. If I were to pick somebody and say like that's my example of like, if I would show it to an alien and say this is a human, I would probably show them Robin Williams, because I think he's just so alive and on. It actually blows me away, like the level of his improv and the level of what he was able to do, because he would take a script and just make it his own script. I can't even believe that. It's kind of unheard of with most people. I mean, maybe more so in his time, but even then, like to just fuck your lines, I'm just gonna say whatever I want, and everybody just knows Robin Williams is gonna do that, and you hire him for that. That's crazy, because he's just they animated Genie around him. That's nuts. They would never do that now. So he's my example of like just somebody who's so alive, and like he's one of my favorite people I could just look at. I think that's why the great actors stick out too, because I think they're just so they're duplicitous, and I think that we are duplicitous as beings, and that's something else about being alive. You're multiple things at once all the time, and you see an actor kind of be something and be something and be something. It's always them, but it's not them. And I think that's, there's something about that we resonate with too. It's like seeing an actor be something, and when they do it real, when it feels real, like say Philip Seymour Hoffman, probably one of the best of all time.
That's exactly the first one that came to mind.
He's fucking incredible, dude. Because it always feels real. Like that's the best word I can pick to describe it. It just doesn't feel like a put on at all. It doesn't feel like he's playing up any aspects of anything. He's just being something else. Another one that, like, I'd say Daniel Day-Lewis too. I would say that he is probably the same level in my mind of like, I just don't ever get a sense of unreality when I watch their performances. Willem Dafoe, I'd probably say too. I'd probably throw him in there.
Who doesn't love Willem Dafoe?
He's just so, because he has a theatrical essence, or like even in the way he performs, but it's still not unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like it's still, I would even go as far to say like his whole scene, his whole campy thing in the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It rides that line just perfectly, where it's campy, but it's also it feels genuinely dramatic.
Yes.
And that's pretty much his whole thing. Is he's always riding that line.
The right amount heightened.
Yeah. I still need to see Wild at Heart because he's the villain in a fucking David Lynch movie, and I can only imagine how that goes.
Oh, I like that actually a lot.
Yeah, it's Willem Dafoe in full Lynch mode.
Lynchian.
Yeah, Lynchian Dafoe. But yeah, man. So
I know.
We'll clock out of here. We'll get out of here. But at the very end of the show, we always do two things. The show's obviously for 3 to 5 year olds. That's my core audience. That's just tuning into this. The little kids.
Is that also your dating pool?
We'll talk about that after. That's for the Patreon, dude.
I was talking to Femi earlier. Sorry.
Femi's 2 episodes ago.
It was. Oh, I love it.
Femi, newfound friend of the show, lover of 2-year-olds, great guy. We love Femi.
Femi always calls me his best friend every time he sees me.
I feel like everybody's got a Femi impression. Everybody can do Femi a little bit. I can't do Femi very good.
Our whole relationship is me shitting on him and telling him everything he's doing wrong, then him going, yeah.
You are right.
Yes. He just takes it. He's like, he really thinks about it, like in a very thoughtful manner. I'm like, Femi, why aren't you wearing shoes? He says, why am I not wearing shoes?
That's good. He's trying to get better.
Yeah,
he's trying to grow.
Yeah,
change. He's got a progressive mindset.
Exactly. Well, he has that fucking super dark brain, that twisted fuck type of energy.
Yeah.
But he's a lovely person. Mm-hmm. But on stage, he's just like, I want to let that out. And like he does. But off stage, you're like, oh, he's the nicest.
I was actually shocked by how cordial he was during the podcast.
Cordial,
I was like, this is not the Femi I've come to know.
Yeah. I know. On stage, he's like, he lets out his, what does Carl Jung call it? His shadow.
Yeah.
He lets out his shadow, and then it comes out, and you're like, you're horrified.
It's really funny.
Well, but it's like,
people who haven't seen Femi before, I implore you. Femi's got a special now on YouTube. You can find it.
Have you watched the special?
I haven't watched it yet. Is it a good example of Femi's feminist?
I only watched the first joke. But the first joke is funny. He goes up on stage and he says, hi guys, I want to know, thank you everyone for coming out tonight, but if I bomb here tonight, I just want you to know, no refunds.
And folks, that's your headline. All right. Well, the advice to the 3 to 5 year olds. These kids who are on the school bus, they're going to take their headphones off. They're going to enter the real world. You are wise. You're full of wisdom. You're going to give them advice. I don't know what it is. It is in you, and you're going to pump it out of your mouth into their ears. You're going to do that right now. But also, you're going to give them the social medias where they can find you, the place where they can see your face. They type in your name. And then they see some more of you. They spent 2 hours with you. They might as well spend some more time. How are they going to do that? I don't know. You're going to tell them the floor is yours.
All right. For 3 to 5 year olds, my advice would be, you don't know anything, and that's good. So in this sense, you should be trying everything possible and finding out what you do like. And then over the course of like 20 years, you start to narrow that down to stuff you really enjoy, and then start to get really good at that. And then just be very open, learn how to talk to adults or people who are older than you, and then they'll give you more opportunities. Because people older than you, it never changes. What you're learning right now as a kid to how you are as an adult, it never changes. Adults are like 20 years older than you. If you learn how to talk to adults now, then you're going to be so much good for getting more opportunities when you're 20. Because then you can talk to adults when they're 40 and they have more power. So little stuff like that. Don't ever stay youthful, stay curious, but never underestimate experience and what other people can do for you. And if someone's in a position that is very, like everybody looks up to, like they're a headliner on a show, they're there for a reason. Do not underestimate that reason and learn from that. There's always something to learn from that. As for social media, anything I have coming up, I have a show every Friday at Second City, 7:30 p.m. We're extended till the end of the year, so we got big plans coming up there. I'm doing more headlining gigs. You can follow me or book me at damonhowardcomedy.com. Outside that, like to get to know you. Come say hi.
Amazing things. Amazing advice. Kids, for every Luke Skywalker, there is a Yoda. Thank you so much for being here today on...
You deep throating right now? You sound like me on the toilet. Oh, you're turning blue. This is wild.
Ruse Radio. Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's